Here we are again. Good morning, Twitch, and welcome to another episode of the Pirate's Life. Let me get my players on the scene here.
Up a third
Good
screen.
morning,
Good,
guys.
good
Sorry to
morning.
interrupt your
No
conversation,
worries.
but it's game time.
Woohoo!
Yes,
Yay.
yes, yes, definitely.
Let's get to the killing.
Yes, but who should die?
Everybody, except for my crewmates.
All right, let's You guys are at sea. Last week, you outwitted the British Marines, stole back your sloop, and managed to escape the Thames into the English Channel, easily outrunning the much slower and less competent British Navy vessels. Um, with the British coastline dwindling behind you, you have decisions to make. Um, I had heard mention that you wanted to take stock of your ship. It has a yeah, they're okay. Yeah, are you guys on the cam links yet?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yes.
because I am still not getting. Did you
Yeah.
join the new ones that I posted up on the bottom of the
Yes.
I
chat?
did, yes.
And why am I not getting? All right, let me see what I can do about that.
I'm gonna roll backwards here and let's see.
All right, well, if I have to, I will just have to create all new invite links. Kind of a pain in the butt, but let's do this real quick. Let's see.
There's old Napes. She's been swinging around up in the rigging.
Let's see, it's not wanting to. There we go. Let's see.
Yeah, I see you, but I don't see any of us. All I see is the spinny grey circle.
I'm working on that. Copy. Bear with me. Let's see. There's one. If y'all are just joining me, we're having some minor cam technical difficulties. We'll be with it shortly. Let's see. There's a new link for Alistair and one more coming up for Napes.
Oh yeah, I see myself now.
Mute yourself on the app because I hear you double.
Yeah, that must be better.
Yeah. Much better. All right. We'll wait for her to get on. Pab, is that Buckingham in the background?
No, I have no idea where that is. I think it's in France. But I figured it looked like a pretty stately castle or palace.
Very much, very much. All right. as I was saying, you guys take stock. You have about a week of provisions. Good morning, Drake. Thank you for the sub 14 months in a row. Um, you guys have about a week's worth of provisions. The problem is that they're not really seaworthy provisions. They're crap that your prisoner, Lieutenant Jeffers, had on hand while he was living on the boat. It was not intended for you to go to sea. So you have about a week's worth of stuff for everybody on the boat, after which you are going to need to resupply, and not nearly enough to make an Atlantic crossing. Plus, you have to decide where you're going to go now. If you go north, you go into the North Sea, which this time of year can be rough on a little boat like yours. If you go south, well, there's the English Navy in the South Channel. There's the Spanish, who I believe are at war with the English right now.
Yay!
There are English privateers and there are pirates. So the waters are, you know, dangerous one way if you go north, dangerous another way if you go south.
Going north will test our seamanship. Going south will test our metal.
Well, either way is going to be a test of seamanship. It's just one is going to either you're going to survive or sink beneath the waves. The other one, you're either going to get away or you're going to sink beneath the waves or possibly get captured. Depends. If you don't give up, they will sink you. But
All right. So, does the ship have a yellow jack on it? A flag that
an emergency
indicates.
flag.
Well, it indicates that the ship might be carrying disease.
Yes, as a matter of fact, it has 3 flags. You'll find. You'll find the British. I'm sure there's a different flag that the British merchant vessels fly rather than the British military vessels. I'm not sure, but there's a British merchant marine flag. There is the yellow flag. There is a white flag, and there is Lord Trevor's family crest on a flag.
Uh,
Right now, you guys are flying the British colors, and well, let's stop for a second. You guys have Lieutenant Jeffers aboard, loyal British Marine, bit of a Chad, you know, never did like you much. Right now, he's lying unconscious on the deck of the captain's cabin. What are you going to do with him? No, you guys bound him up, didn't you?
We did.
Napes tied him up. So,
as much as I'd like to just toss him over, I can't do that.
yeah, he's an ass, but he's not evil.
Right.
Perhaps what we should do is get close to shore and set him adrift in a jolly boat.
Not near the English shore. We don't want to give them any indication of which direction we went.
Well,
so,
set him off at the French shore. Set him off by Calais or Boulogne or something.
yeah, I'm thinking that we cross towards the French shore and then we head south towards Portugal. And we go as fast and as far as we can with our 5 days of provisions. And then we put in Calais. Calais would just be too obvious, Paul.
Well, if we drop him off at Calais, they don't know where we're going from there.
It's true.
You know, we could head north or south from Calais.
And as Nape said, for the love of God and all that's the holy, let's go south. Because our query is actually south. And to clear our names, there's only one way to do that.
All right, one moment. I am bringing up a map of Europe 17. I have to go import it because I was lame and forgot to do this morning.
Can you guys hear me now?
We can
Yes,
hear
ma'am.
you now. Woo!
Oh, yay.
Yes.
I'm sitting here and I'm like, why in the Can they not hear me? Because I'm checking my headphones. Because sometimes I accidentally hit the button on my headphones, and then nobody can hear me, and I can hear everybody. And I've run all these tests and things. Now I was on push to talk because I was on D&D Beyond server yesterday, and there was a couple of new folks asking questions and stuff, and so I'm like, you know what? I don't type all that fast, so let's hop into voice, and it's you have to be, push to talk only, and I'm like, oh, okay, whatever.
I get that.
Yeah.
Well,
Yep.
I get the push to talk thing as well because, the whole Darth Vader situation out there just drives you crazy. People breathing into their microphone, they're not.
Oh
aware
my
of.
God! Right?
Exactly.
Yeah, and if it's somebody that you're interested in, okay, cool. It's that's good. But aside from that, no, please don't breathe heavy into that because that's creepy.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, breathing into the microphone, I don't know. I mean, you should only be doing it when you're talking anyway.
And I'm trying not to breathe too hard on you guys because I don't want you to get.
Yeah, we don't want your contagion.
Yeah,
You can keep that
Oh
yourself.
Lord,
You
what?
keep your pox.
What do you got? Did you
I-
get the vid?
if I have, it's the second time I've had it, and I'm not.
Oh.
I'm just gonna, I don't want to kill somebody, so I keep
Yeah,
a
no.
profile, and that
Totally.
Yeah.
Yep, totally get that. Question: Are we? Remind me the order I want to do this in. Do I want to open the ninja first or the
VCAM first.
VCAM first?
Always, yes.
Okay,
All right.
that's what I needed to know.
Let me share that with the players at least.
Woohoo.
And well, it looks like well, this is probably not a very accurate map because it's kind of skewed for the curve of the Earth. But going south, you've got France. Yeah, France is the big blue. Then you have Spain, and the war of the Spanish Succession is going on right now. And then you have Portugal. You also, and it doesn't show it on this map, is the Azores Islands. Are you familiar with them?
The Azores, yes, that they are down here.
They are due west of Spain.
I thought they were off the
No,
coast
they
of
are
Africa.
due west of Spain. They are the westernmost point of Europe.
Yes, but don't the British have a large presence in the Azores?
I believe it is Portuguese territory.
Is it?
Yes, but I also believe it is several days out. It is out in the Atlantic by itself. You could possibly make for there. You may or may not have enough provisions to make that.
We don't want to start this journey off rough. I say we head to.
But Portugal is neutral, and yeah, it is to the south. You could head there.
Lisbon. Large enough city where we won't stand out. Huge port.
It's the capital city. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Says the guy who doesn't have flaming red hair. But anyway,
Well,
so however,
yours is covered, so they're done.
Somebody grab some soot from the galley down there.
and I'll be like, you're not gonna put soot on my head. That's no. Actually, I actually have a picture of her with the scarf on the head, which is what she would wear if we were to like go into town somewhere or board another ship or whatever.
Right.
Because she's also found that the less she looks like a girl, the better off she is.
Much closer than Lisbon is Oporto, or Porto, which is the second largest port in
Portugal.
Portugal. Yes.
Well, we are targeting this. We're gonna go from.
Okay, we're gonna come out there. We could.
We're gonna come out here and then shoot straight across. And
Wait a
try to
minute.
get as far south as
Come-
we can before we start.
Okay, well, first, we're gonna. Oh, that's right. You can't ping anymore. Bloody hell. Okay. What do I want to do? Nope, I don't want that. How do I do a?
Hold both like for an arrow like this. Hold
Yeah.
both mouse buttons and then drag.
Oh.
Oh, that's
Okay.
clever.
All right. So we're gonna be coming from here.
Yes, we'll be coming out of the English Channel and heading this way. Hopefully.
Okay. Well, I mean, we could drop him off in Amsterdam. He'd have some fun there.
Amsterdam's in the other direction.
Amsterdam is
North of England.
right there.
I just noted that Calais is not marked on the
Yeah, it's
French
not.
coast here. But
Neither's
Yes,
Boulogne.
this is not the most accurate map. It was just one that showed the borders
Right.
at
no,
the
isn't-
time.
Clearly,
Geography-wise, this is kind of skewed because this is not the actual shape of Europe when you're looking down on it from above.
So
Oh,
Calais
come on.
is at the narrowest point, is it not? Isn't Calais like right there by Dunkirk?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, we could drop him in Dunkirk. Because isn't there?
Dunkirk
Isn't-
is a British port, I believe.
It is.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, we could fly the dude's colors if we don't
As I said,
burn the thing first.
we should get within sight of land, stick him in a jolly boat, untie him, and set him asunder. Leave him a little bit of water and food so that if he can't get to where he needs to go,
Well,
he's
right
pretty
now
sorry
the
to
weather
sailor.
is cold enough that if he doesn't get to shore immediately, he will die on the sea in a lifeboat.
Yeah. Exactly. Which means like, you know, we'd have to. Is that Havre? There, Le Havre is the next one over.
Le Havre.
Le Havre. Sorry, I'm thinking it's.
Yeah,
I
they
live in-
just drop
I
off the
live
last half of the
in
letter.
Minnesota, which is right next door to Wisconsin and Green Bay. So every time I see something that ends in VRE, yeah,
Brett Favre.
yeah. Well, that's how it's spelled. Except it's it's Favre, and I'm like, okay, you can't pronounce something and flip flop the letters.
Oh yeah,
It's
you
either
can.
spell it right
See
or
French. Oh yeah, you can.
yeah.
Were you
Let's see.
unable to join the camera link?
I'm working on it right
Okay,
now. My
okay.
my camera is
I'm
being
going to switch us over to the chart room so they can see what we're looking at, and then I have to repaste all my camera links fresh over here too.
Well, I wore my shirt especially for Esther today.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah,
crap.
so I was
Speaking
reading
of,
I was
I'll-
reading that you were a hockey fan, so I. Had
I
to wear
what are you wearing?
Are you a hockey fan that goes back far enough to be a North Stars fan? Or are you a Minnesota Wild fan? Or
I'm a New York Ranger fan because I'm
Are you
from New
really?
York. I'm a New
Oh,
Yorker. I got
New Yorker.
transplanted. But no, I do like the Wild, and I did see my very first game that I saw here in Minnesota was the North Stars versus the Rangers.
gotcha. Well, I am a Blues. I wouldn't call it a
Oh, okay.
fan. You
Yeah.
have to actually use fanatic. You have to use the whole thing because I'm freaking. Now this year I'm very disappointed because the NHL decided that the only way you could watch NHL hockey on television is if you had DirecTV.
Well, what's up with that shit?
You know, I mean, I could go through the hassle of, putting like the bullshit streaming crap on my Amazon Firebox, but I just decided that, to hell with you NHL. So if anybody from the NHL is watching, do something because.
Well, yeah, we
most
want to
of us
watch our
don't-
hockey, man.
Yeah, most of us don't have what. So we get game night on Wednesday night on NBC Sports. Yeah, whatever. And usually it's teams I don't. Well, it's not that I don't give a shit about it because I'd watch hockey over anything else, and I don't like any other
I seem
sport
to have
really.
lost my overlay.
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten into watching like, what do you call it? Baseball with friends of mine because there's an older lady that she's, her and her mom or were huge fans of the twins and all that stuff. So, and I can sit there and go, rah rah twins, but it's all good.
Well, I'm a
I
bit of a
enjoy
Cardinals
watching
fan.
it in person more
Yes. Well, it's because you got
than
a beer in your hand, right? Cold beer.
no.
Big.
Beer,
No.
beer's gross. Sorry, I'm one of those weird people. I like the semi frou-frou, she girly drinks,
Oh,
but
you like
but
little
I also
umbrella.
like it's sometimes.
I
But I
like
also
beer
like
because beer is cheap. I
well, there's
used to
that.
like beer. I don't drink anymore because
I don't either.
I'm old and diabetic, and I really can't. Otherwise, I would.
Oh yeah, I totally understand. I'll be right back. I had forgotten something that I'm, not exactly suited for being on camera. I'll be right back. I should be though. You got me
Yeah.
though.
I'll go. Yeah, we got you.
Okay.
I think I got you.
Okay. Be right back.
Yeah, I'm getting the green screen back, which means the camera's live. Okay.
Yeah,
All
cool.
right. So where have you decided to go?
Well,
We've
if you're
decided
captain,
about
then captain, wherever you want to go.
Well, again, I think that there's kind of uh, this unspoken rule that once you've taken a ship like this and you've become pirates, that piracy was really the first democracy on the water. The first time that yes, there was a captain, but he discussed it with his underlings, and not really underlings. Everybody was even, but one person was named the captain.
Oh
And
yes.
I believe that's how we will, and so
It was an elected
Napes,
position, and if the captain
yeah,
could be
no,
voted out by the crew.
that's right, that's
True.
right. And I look at everybody and I say that's the way we'll run this ship for as long as we can run this ship. And Napes, you say south. So
Uh,
what say you, Stitch?
I say south.
Gents,
I
get your
I think
warm
we
weather clothing out.
Yeah,
We're heading south.
the rest of the crew will also vote for
What,
South. I
what
imagine.
time of year is this, Rob? Chicago?
It is
it's
like
cold.
April,
April. Okay,
so
I'm just
it is
It,
freaking cold out here
it
in
yeah.
it's
the
very
English
chilly.
Channel. Yes,
You're in Minnesota in February,
Yeah,
if that
it's
makes
cold
any
enough to
sense.
freeze the balls off a
yeah,
brass monkey. I get
and
it.
it's even
Yeah.
colder in the North Sea right now.
Yeah.
Well, there's
And I'll
that
say
wind chill
you
factor.
a lot more than you want to deal with. If and I'll say in my own voice or whatever, not in her, not her saying it, but if y'all don't want to freeze to death, we go south. Let's go south.
So you could have set a southerly course.
Yeah.
Alistair, may I have a boating check from you? Now,
You may.
they don't make navigation a separate skill, so all
Right.
aspects of being on a boat, navigation, steering it, running the rigging, whatever, all of that falls under boating.
Except
Right.
cannons.
Except cannons,
Right.
that falls under shooting.
Right. And then can I do a assist from
I just wanted to see if we had a basic success. If you set a proper course, and all right, let me bring up my note here because
All right. Be right back. Just a second.
in addition to combat encounters, Savage Worlds has this thing that they call dun dun dun. Oh, I don't have that sound effect set up. Actually, I do. I just need to go get it. There we
Uh-oh.
go.
I take it that's Napes sees something on the horizon behind us.
Now, we are doing a
Uh-oh.
dramatic task.
Oh.
What a dramatic task is it's a series of skill checks where you have a number of rounds to reach a number of successes or bad things happen. There were two possible dramatic tasks you could have undertaken today. The first one was sail the North Sea, which you opted out of. The second dramatic task is avoid the fleet. All right. It's going to take 5 rounds. This is how it works. You guys have to collect a total of 20 success tokens. This is how you can get them. Your crew gets 1 skill roll collectively as a crew. Boating will get 1 success plus 1 per raise. Only 1 person may make a boating check, others may assist. An athletics check. Oh, Martian Cat redeemed bennies for everyone. One moment, and I will reset everybody's bennies and then give you one. Athletics. An athletics, a raise will get you 1 success. A regular success will get you nothing, but doing an athletics check in a round, whether you succeed or not, will prevent a loss of progress from critical failure. A notice will gain you 1 success plus 1 per raise. As many people as want may notice. A successful persuasion or intimidation success will add +4 to the crew roll per success or raise, which means if your persuasion or intimidation is a success, that means the crew is automatically going to get 1 success. If you get a raise, that's two automatic successes for the crew. If you have an appropriate knowledge skill, such as knowledge skill navigation, knowledge skill naval history, or anything else that you think might apply, that can apply 1 automatic success per round, or you can take a skill check with normal results. Now, let me get you all on the combat tracker. See, we don't need anybody but you because you guys are basically trying to. We don't need the sloop. That's right. I need to. How did we figure out this happened? Party sheet, and I have to drag on from there.
Something like that.
Yes.
It doesn't look like our bennies have.
Nope. I am getting ready to do that.
Okay.
They
Just
didn't
checking.
show last week
'Cause-
that we had an
Well,
inventory,
no,
but it worked.
it's up over it's up over our
Oh yes.
on our names or our little pictures
Character
on the
sheet.
table.
Yeah, but it should. Let's see.
Mine just says Benny's in there. Doesn't have a number.
Yeah.
Just trying to find out where. Oh, it's on the party sheet, isn't it? Reset menus.
Oh, maybe. There you go.
You guys
And
should still
and
have
apparently the pirate cam
does
has a
everybody
Benny.
does everybody? Yes, the pirate cam gets a Benny.
Benny.
I can use the pirate cam to actually keep track of my game master bennies. But let's see.
Ah.
I don't see any number in that box.
Yeah. Well, we didn't have it last time either,
I
so.
know.
Yeah.
No, look on your character portrait, and you'll see it there. If you look in the party sheet, that box there will also tell you the number of bennies you have.
I don't see that in the party sheet.
Under main, it should show your things, and it just shows your name, your cards, your bennies. Maybe it doesn't show it on the player version, but
Nope.
on your character portrait in the upper left, it will show you there. And on the combat tracker, there should be a little number just to the right of your name that'll show you your number of bennies.
Yeah, it's
as well.
nothing's coming up on the party sheet.
Let me look.
So I mean, I have
Didn't
like
last week either.
each of us,
Okay,
but
yeah,
there's
well, then that's just there's not. Yeah, you'll have to go by what it shows you on your character picture. Evidently, an update has broken something, and I cannot unbreak it, so we will just push.
There's an
No worries.
update this past week that broke a lot of things. Deadlands, Savage Worlds, and 5e, and I've had all kinds of things broken.
oh goody.
But we all come from a day and age where we sat around a coffee table with pencils and pieces of paper and played D&D, so we can get by
Coffee table.
without all the fancy contraptions. Yes.
No.
All right, let me.
What do they call it? A card table? The old four-legged thing with the Yeah. Before they started making it a padded top,
Is
it
that
was
better, Drake?
solid.
Oh, I know what you. Yeah, they're basically
Yeah.
made out of cardboard.
Well,
Yeah,
sort of, but I mean, they're
yeah,
actually were relatively sturdy back then. But
right.
when I was little, it was a playhouse because we had
Yeah.
I think my grandmother had bought me
There, I
this
turned it down just a
plastic thing
little
that
bit
goes
more.
over top of the card table, and it has things that drop from the card table all the way to the floor, and there's like a window on 3 sides, and then another side it's got like a
I
door.
turned it into a little house.
Yeah. And I was like,
Okay.
that's the coolest thing ever.
We
And I'm
just
like,
built we just built forts with sheets.
well, I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
but
what we did.
this is when I was little, like I was 5. But and we were living in a apartment, so you can't really go building stuff in the backyard, what little we had.
I built
But it
the
was all good.
living room. Okay,
Oh
let me
Lord.
do that.
Okay. So
There. I turned
okay.
my volume
So
all
just
the
an
way up.
FYI, if you hear any like little like meows and then things like
At some point,
nails on carpet, one of my cats has the zoomies right now.
well, my cat is old and lonely, and at some point this morning, he's going to come sit next to my chair and protest loudly that I'm not laying on the floor petting him, or
Fair enough.
that I'm not paying attention to him in general. He will let
Well,
me know
yeah.
this. All right. Um, let's do this. Let me get to here. I created an encounter that has your crew members on it. I don't remember the names we chose last night, but I chose names for them all. Hope you are okay with them. Their names are Jones, Smitty, Gunny, Rupert, Bernard, and Weatherby.
Works.
Very British.
Yeah.
And
Weatherby.
um, actually, for this, I'm only going to put one of the crew members on because they're going to make a collective roll. You used to be able to put things on as a group, and I don't know how to do that anymore.
You can drag whatever, be it a PC, NPC, or whatever, and you drop it on, I think, the portrait in the combat tracker, or else the card, one of the two, and then that will put it underneath that.
Okay, good. Because I knew you used to be able to do that, so I could like assign the crew to you, so they'd all go on your turn.
No, you don't have to do that.
No, oh no. But I've got them a separate entry, and we deal cards. Now,
Awesome.
let me. I had this tagged up. Let me pull it back up. All right, bear with me.
Give me a second, guys. I need to open the door so I let my dogs out.
Absolutely.
Who? Come on.
I caught that. I see
It
what
was
you did
awful. It was awful.
there. It was very awful, but it was also funny. So, well, at least now we know. Ha.
All right. Everybody gets a card, which we have dealt. Alistair, you are first.
Okay, back. Sorry.
Let me share that note with you so you guys can see. Alistair, I would imagine you are voting. If you would like, does anybody else intend to assist him with the voting this round?
I could.
As
All right.
well, I could too. So either of us.
All right. Let's say if you want. Look,
I
like I
mean,
said,
yeah.
look at the other things.
Oh, yeah.
You
You probably
guys-
want me to do
you
the athletics
guys
thing.
need 20 tokens in 5 rounds, which means you need to average 4 successes per round somehow.
Now it says one check only. That's one check per round, right?
That's per round. Only one
Oh,
person
okay.
may do a boating check. The others may assist. But, if you're lucky, you might get 3 successes out of that.
Right.
It takes a raise on an athletics check to get a success. A notice check will get you a success. Um, and a persuasion or intimidation check will give a bonus to the crew.
Ah, okay.
So, Alistair, I take it you are going to be piloting, or would you
I
rather
will
have
be.
one of your crew pilot? Okay.
Oh,
Do you want to take
I
your role now, or do you want to delay and wait for an assist?
no, I'm gonna take my role now. I think I'd like the crew to concentrate on sails, riggings, and riding the wind.
Okay, so they will be assisting, and their assistance, when they make the roll, will apply to. Actually, let me do this. Let me see if I can do this. Yes, it did. Go ahead and make Sailor Jones's boating assistance check because I put him on your turn.
Okay, boating.
And this is assumed to be the whole crew doing this.
Now I don't have access to a stat block, Jingo.
All right, give me a second. Now you should.
Gotcha. And he's going to do boating to assist me.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, he is.
Yes, he is. As a matter of fact, Jones, why don't you take this freaking wheel? No.
Well, yeah. It's not actually
All right. He got a
terribly often.
success and a raise. So you
Yeah.
and I was going to say
Well,
because there's like I said I'm taking an aggregate roll. Your crew got a 9, which is going to give you +2 to your boating roll this round.
Woohoo!
nice. So I'll add a little 2 there, and here we go.
Nice. And a raise.
12. That's 2 raises.
That's 2 raises.
So that's 3 successes this round. Bam. You've almost met your quota this round. Captain
right.
and his crew expertly guiding you through.
Okay.
Stitch.
So
Stitch is
Yep.
next.
I was gonna say I'm gonna be better at the notice.
Okay, then
'Cause-
I'll take the athletics.
Okay. Cool beans.
What do you see, Napes?
Yep.
Okay.
So it's him first. Yeah, I've got.
All right. A raise will add another success. But like I said, just doing the athletics will automatically because on a critical failure, you guys lose a success. But if you're doing the athletics check, that can't happen even if you fail your athletics check unless you critical fail it. And you do not. So that is another success. That is 4. Astrid, your turn.
Okay. Question. So I have the edge called notice or called lookout, and I get a +2 bonus for. I've got that, and then I've got the alertness. So the alertness is pretty much all the time, and then when I'm doing just sailing through like nautical hazards or
It definitely
know,
applies here.
boating. Okay.
Lookout definitely applies.
And then
here.
what about another
For
+2?
the spyglass?
No, well, there's that
Yes,
too.
yes,
Oh, that's
that.
right. The spyglass is a
Yes,
+2.
this
Oh
is
my
a game
god!
about stacking all
I
the crap
forgot.
up. If you got
Yes, it
stuff
is.
that will stack up, stack it up. Because I'll
Right.
do that against you when it's my turn.
Oh, well, yes, of course. But then it says lookouts also gain a +2 to notice rolls made to avoid surprise in tactical situations. I thought that was
All right.
important that you know that.
Okay, this won't be
Okay.
surprise. Out on the sea,
Right.
the only thing that can surprise you will come up from below. Ship, there's a term called boat race. And if you know what a boat race is, it's like watching paint dry.
Well, yes, exactly. Well, it's kind of like watching NASCAR when there isn't a crash. A friend of mine used to
It's like, why? Yeah.
pretty much,
That would be the only reason I would go to see NASCAR, is to watch a big crash.
Well, going there, I suppose, is a different thing. But she used to tape all of the whole race, and then just fast forward till there was a crash. And I'm
Now
like,
that's
that's
kind of
clever because
bloodthirsty.
then she could do a 3.5 hour race in about
I'm
an
a
hour.
car nut. I would go to a NASCAR race because
To
it's
look at the
Yeah.
cars.
because it's cars racing. You know, the
Exactly.
gasoline, the burning rubber, the loud noises. I'm all in. I don't.
Right.
Yeah,
I don't
NASCAR isn't
necessarily
particularly
want
my
to
favorite
catch a
kind of
tire
motor
with my
racing,
face,
but
but all right.
it's racing, and if it's racing, I'm in.
Okay.
All right,
So
take
so
that
let
notice
me.
check. See what you got. So sounds
Yep.
like you got like a
So
+6 going there.
yes, I do. So well, actually, one of them's already built in, so I'm gonna do a 4. All right. And
All right,
okay.
that's
That's
2
not
raises.
the best it could be.
So that
Okay.
brings you to, let's see. Mar put up, let's see, the 14 was the 3 successes. You have made 2 more. You guys are at 5 successes out of 20 at the end of the first round. You've seen some ships on the horizon, but nothing has taken notice of you yet.
Okay.
New round. Oh, and by the way, if somebody gets dealt the club, it makes things difficult. Just to know. If you get a club, things are going to get hard. All right, Alistair, next round.
All right, Jones.
Uh,
Uh,
no, Jones. Your other left.
your other left,
Shut down.
Jones.
Your other left.
Oh, fuck.
Jones does
Is
not
it?
add to your voting. It's not a critical fail. He's not a wild
Okay.
card. He's just not going to add to
Okay.
your voting this round.
Very good.
Gotcha.
Very good. So there's my boating roll,
Hey, there you go.
which is
Not
That's
bad.
2 more successes, so that brings you to 7
Woo.
out of 20. As the captain is just, he's got one finger on the top of the wheel, just cruising. Stitch.
I'll do the athletics check again.
All right, you did not succeed.
Failed it.
Well, that doesn't add any successes, but now you can't lose any progress. And Naves, you're going to continue to look out.
Yes, I am. Yeah, when I originally took all these, I'm like, yeah, this will be pretty good. And then I'm like, holy crap, I get like that much. Yes.
Man, you guys are killing it.
Oh,
4
nice.
raises.
Holy shit!
Boom! So that brings you to 11 out of 20 after
Woohoo!
2 rounds. You guys are cruising.
Yeah, just
Huh?
wait for it because
Oh! Round
Um,
3, we got clubs. Oh no! Let's see what happens.
What does that mean?
we could, if we wanted to, if we were desperate and wanted to, we could Benny for a new card.
No,
I believe.
you cannot Benny for a new card.
No?
You can Benny rolls. You cannot Benny for a new card.
Okay,
At
because
least
I was
it's
pretty
not
sure.
as far as I'm aware.
Not as far as I'm aware.
I
There's
will look.
edges
I
that
will
give
look that up,
Yeah,
and if I can
yeah,
find it
just
in
curious,
the rules, I will
'cause
absolutely. Yeah. No.
Yeah, no, not that I want to. It's fine, but because.
Well, what does it mean?
What's it? It means that something. There's a possibility
All
of
it
a
means,
thing happening. It's like
let's see.
when you're going on
If
a
the character's action
journey.
card is a club, something has gone wrong. Attempts to resolve the task are made an additional -2. Worse, if a roll is failed during the complication. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Okay, I see that. Let's see. Okay, I see that's not going to apply, but this is how I'm going to do this. If you fail, it's supposed to just fail the task altogether, which it doesn't make sense. So this is what I'm going to do. Loki's girl, thank you for the biddies. Huzzah to the tipper. If you fail, it will give everybody else a -2 on their text this round. So you make your roll with a -2.
Okay, which would be then a
Yeah.
+4.
Yeah, it's only taking away one of your bonuses.
Yep. So, all
And
right.
if you fail, everybody else will take a -2.
Oh Lord. All right. All right, dice. Do not Will Wheaton me. Okay.
That's 2 successes, so that brings you to
All right. Woohoo!
13 successes. You guys are, you've seen a few British flags, but they were headed the other direction, and there is no way they were going to catch you and get turned around in time. Let me
Right.
see.
Woohoo!
Stitch, you also have a -2, and if you
Oh.
fail, that is going to, with the -2, that is going to be a failure, unless you want to Benny it.
I'll Benny it. So just drag a Benny
Just
from
click
there
on
into.
that Benny box.
Yeah.
There you go. And
So try again.
yeah, remember you got a -2.
Oh,
Doesn't
yeah.
matter. You made it that time. 8 -2 is 6 is a
6.
success. So you cannot take any penalties this round. And down to Alistair. So you guys are at 13 out of 20.
All right,
You are
Jones.
not. Hold on. Let me, I may have it messed up here.
That's all right. Because
There we
I keep
go.
having to fix my bloody chair because.
It should be on now.
Because the hydraulic stand is done.
Oh my god. Well, it was fine until about a month ago my cat decided that she was gonna start trying to get my attention by playing with the lever. So she'd be sitting there, ba-ding, 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 and now it's like every so often if I have it in the wrong position or whatever, I'll just like drop a couple inches.
That
It's like,
sucks.
yeah.
Surprise!
Well, I mean, yeah, right. It was a free. It was a free chair, so
Oh,
I'm
I get
not.
it. Can't bitch too loudly, but still,
No. Well, I can, but
nobody listens.
Yeah, I don't know
Just
why it's not
set it-
getting your camera.
yeah.
Set it at the
Anyways,
appropriate height, and then
Alistair, what are you
Pump some-
guys
And
on
oh
now?
wait,
JB
Ha.
Weld in there.
try that. Now try it. Helps if I press the button marked start.
Okay, did you use the new link that I posted down there?
Uh-huh.
Okay. For some reason, it's just not wanting to cooperate, but
I
right, well, let
find
me
that I
try again.
close. I do not have XSplit VCam open at the time that I start. What I do is I open it up, I select the background I want, then I close it, and then
You
I
do it
open up.
the reverse way.
Well,
right?
it still runs in your system tray down there, but I've got a.
Not on my computer. It doesn't.
Okay,
If I shut something off, I want it off.
right. Yeah, I do the same thing for a lot of things, but
All right. Well, let's try it this way.
all right, I just put the link up again just to make sure it's fresh.
Okay. Hang on. Nope, that's not. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, and that.
All right.
Jingo, that was a pretty cool little animation that.
What, with the map went down?
Yeah, your map actually
Yeah,
slid
that's
up.
a feature of XSplit. Basically, any element I've got on the table, I can transition it to do things like drop
Right.
down and drop up, or fade in or fade out. And I just have that one to drop down. When I go out of this mode, it just drops down the chart before it.
No.
And if I turn it off,
Okay, now try it.
I turn it off, it
There
there.
she
I see you
is.
now. If I
Okay.
turn it off, it does the same thing, the same animation.
Oh yeah.
XSplit does all kinds of cool things. I can't sing enough praises about it. It's not free,
yeah.
but it does some cool things.
Well, and looking at it for like the basic subscription, it's not bad either. It's just if I had
Yeah.
money for it, sure I'd do it. But and of course I'd have to have a better camera too.
Yeah, no,
But
I'm talking about the whole, not just the VCam, but the whole XSplit broadcast suite. That's what I broadcast with.
oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, everything you see is XSplit. Well, not
Yeah, a
everything.
lot of other people use OBS.
Most people use OBS because
Because it is free.
It is free, and there's not a damn thing wrong with it. Anyways, Alistair, let's get back to your turn.
All right.
You guys are at 13 out of 20 successes, and you're in the third round?
Yes.
Yes.
So, Alistair, what do you got?
All right, Jones. I'll send Jones to assist on something, so he'll give a boating roll. And fuck,
And fuck that up.
Jones, you son of a bitch. And then Alistair rolls his boating roll.
There you go.
3 more, 13 brings you to 16 at the end of the third round. And
Wait,
You-
I had a -2. Did I have a -2?
no, you did not. You didn't draw a club. This round you have
gotcha.
a -2 because you
Oh,
drew a
shit.
club.
Ah, okay. So it's just per person, not
Per person.
per
If you
group.
draw a club, that person gets a -2. And I've rolled that
Okay.
if you fail on your roll, that -2 carries over to everybody else.
Okay.
Okay, so
That
Jones,
works.
being in my group, has a -2
Yes,
as
he
well.
does.
And so here's Jones's roll. Huh, big fat
As a
zero.
0.
He can't crit fail, so he can't knock you back any.
Nice.
He tripped over his own eyeball.
And that is a 3, and I think that
Let's see, that is not a success. You want to Benny that?
I am. I'm going to.
Okay. Does
s-
the 5 not say that it was a raise?
Yeah, but it's a 5 - 2 equals a 3 total.
Oh, never
So
mind.
the 3 failed,
mind.
yes.
Well, why is Alistair getting a negative?
Because he drew a club this round.
I drew a club. Yes.
Oh, you drew the.
Um,
That's right. I was
I'm
thinking
trying to
Jones.
remember how we got the. There we go. That used it, and that is one. You know what I think I'm gonna do? Even though I used Benny. No, I'm not. I'm gonna let the crew come to rescue. So.
Alright, so your failure is going to mean that everybody else is going to take a -2 on their rolls this round.
Oh, it does it. Okay.
Yes, it does.
Then I'm
Yeah,
not so
use
sure.
Benny.
But
well,
you guys
actually,
are so far ahead of the game. You're at 13 going into the fourth round, and you guys
this-
needed to average. You're
not sure
slightly
what-
ahead of average right now.
I don't know. It did not play the card, but it does
all right,
tell me.
so hold on, let me fix that. I don't know why it didn't.
Yeah.
What was the card you were wanting to play?
Ace.
Play
Play instead
instead-
of rolling to automatically succeed in a trait roll with a single raid.
Okay.
Hmm.
Oh, it won't even let me remove that card from your. You know what? Probably because I didn't reset cards. Because I didn't. If I had reset cards, it would have taken that away.
Well,
All
then I
right,
wouldn't have ace. Go ahead and reset the cards.
No. I'm gonna let you keep it because I didn't take it away, and I'm gonna let you use it. And that's an ace is. Well, that it just said it doesn't say the -2 can't take you down from that. So that's a success with a raise. That brings you to 15 total.
Nice.
Well played card. Well played card. Napes.
All right.
5 more successes and you guys are free of the British fleet.
Okay. So I don't have any minuses, or do I? Yes, I do.
No. That's a spade. You only take a minus on a club. He played a
Oh.
card to cancel that failure.
Got it. Okay. Cool beans.
Very nice.
There's
Names.
2 more successes. That brings you to 17. And Stitch, what do you want to do this round?
Oh, I guess. I mean, my best choice is going to be the athletics roll, so I'll do an athletics roll.
All right. Like I said, it'll keep you until your next turn from backsliding. Alistair got
really?
a queen this round, yes. If he does an athletics check, it keeps you guys from losing any progress, whether he succeeds on the roll or not. He has to get a raise to add a success
Gotcha.
with the athletics, because
So it's worth doing it.
it's worth
That's-
doing it to keep you
Oh.
from backsliding. Jones
Somebody-
is just not with it today.
Somebody
Jones,
keelhaul
we've
his
given him
ass.
too much grog.
Mhm.
Half
right.
half rations for you boys until you start rolling better.
And then we'll do boat.
There you go.
There
Way
we
to
You
go.
go,
guys are
Wild
some
Duck.
There.
decent some bitches. That brings it to 19. One more success, and you guys are free. Napes, bring it home.
All right.
Bring it home.
Oh, here's hoping. Whoops, not boating. Notice. Yeah. I'd like to
Still.
penny that.
You
Oh, is that-
succeeded. You
I
got a
did.
9. You succeeded with the raise. That +6 is massive.
Woo!
And, after all a long day of sailing, you are finally free of the English Channel and headed south.
Awesome.
2 days sail, and the coast of Portugal comes into line. Were you guys headed to Lisbon or Porto?
Depends on our stores. If we've got enough to make it to Lisbon,
Oh, yeah.
being a larger port, we're headed to Lisbon.
All right, you head there now. The question is, what flag are you carrying? What flag are you flying? Right now, the British are not at war with Portugal, I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure. In fact, I think they may even be allies. I'd have to go look up the Queen Anne's War and the War of Succession, and I don't want to take the history lesson at them.
Yeah, and I'm not sure about this, but Paul may know. Was the Union Jack was that the flag in use?
Mhm.
Yeah, it was, because I
Yeah.
keep thinking we're in the 1400s, but
No. Much later.
yep, 17, yeah.
Yep.
So I'll holler up at the Crow's Nest for Napes, and I'll say, Napes, do you see the Jack anywhere in port?
Make me a notice check, Napes.
I can do that.
With all
Okay,
your,
so
with all the
then this is
bonuses.
just
The,
with
yeah,
all
the
of it?
nautical,
Okay.
the nautical. Well, you're looking for a ship, so I'm going to say it applies.
Okay.
Yeah, you're looking for any ship flying the Union Jack right now.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Holy shit.
There are
20
currently no British warships in this harbor. There are some merchant vessels that are flying the British, and they might spy, they might report, but news
it's not like
travels
they
at the speed of foot in the 1700s, so it's
Right.
not
Yeah.
like you're on the interwebs to be spied.
Yeah, there's no internet, so
And there's no photographs either, so
Yeah.
getting found out, somebody would have to know who you are to know who you are.
So I'll holler at the crew. I'll tell them to run up the Jack. And
All right. Now, here's something else I didn't address with you guys. Languages. Whatever
Oh,
your
yeah.
smarts die is, divided in half is the total number of languages you know. So,
Okay.
with a smarts
Now,
of 4, you're going to know your language and one other. So you guys can go ahead, and I'm going to assume somebody here speaks Portuguese. One
no
of you should. If none of you do,
Southern languages.
if none of you do, if somebody wants to spend a penny, then one of your crewmen will be fluent in Portuguese.
I think I think with Portugal being such a I mean, at this point, Magellan has circumnavigated the world.
Portugal's a major power at this point.
Major
Yeah.
power, and
Yeah.
I think being on a ship, it would make
You
sense.
two, you two, could easily have gone to Portugal at some point, or have picked up Portuguese.
Or had a Portuguese.
Me, on the other hand, I've got Icelandic as my native.
No, I would
And then
be
I
French.
Okay.
My
So then
language
I've
would be
got-
French.
A wee bit of Dutch and English.
Oh, Dutch would be nice. Yeah. I've got English, French, and Portuguese.
Okay.
Yep.
So you guys will
Actually-
come into port and
Yeah, French would be. Yeah.
Well, yeah. And then
Does
I've
anybody
got
take Spanish?
uh-uh.
All right, and Paul, you took French. I'm taking Spanish instead.
Well, Spanish and Portuguese are
They are
so
very
close.
Yes.
They're very
there's
similar.
some similarities, so I would allow a skill
You would
roll.
be able to. I know you can communicate because my father speaks Portuguese, and he would get on the Spanish ships and sell shit to the Spaniards. So, anyhow, sorry.
Yes, there is some overlap, and yeah, there you can. I think the same with Italian and Spanish. There's enough overlap that you could probably
They're
communicate.
Latin-based languages.
Yes.
Mhm.
All
However,
right.
the northern ones like mine are like,
The Slavic ones, yeah, no, it's like
You
German. It's
okay?
all angry, angry, angry language.
Yes, angry language,
Yeah.
hard consonants, and
Yes,
English,
angry
French, and
language.
English, French, and Portuguese is what I will speak there.
Yes. All right. So you guys sail into the port. At some point, you can see that it is a very busy port here. Um, you will probably not find a dock berth, so you will have to anchor in the harbor and go in
okay.
on a longboat. You still have Lieutenant Jeffers with you. Have you had him tied up this whole time, or did you untie him
Well,
once you got out to sea?
No, I would have ordered him untied out at sea. I wouldn't have treated
He's
him
not going to
awfully.
do anything stupid because at this point, he. Are you guys going to explain anything to him? So as far as he knows, you guys are mutineers and pirates, and have kidnapped him. And
He would have eaten
Yeah.
dinner with us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Are you
Yeah.
going to explain your actual situation to him?
I think over the course of probably the 4 or 5 days that we've
Yeah, you
sailed
guys have
across
been in
the.
like 3
Yeah.
days.
yeah,
I will take a persuasion check from anybody. If does anybody here have persuasion?
I
I've got a
do.
Anybody
D8 in it.
persuasive?
Yep.
Give me a persuasion check. Let's see if you can make him
Can
come
I
around.
assist her? It doesn't
Yes,
matter.
you can.
Okay.
But it is a success. And
I can't assist. No, I can't assist.
Oh.
It doesn't matter.
But
he's
like
still sour
look,
about the knot on his head. And
and I will do everything I can to try to fix that in a sense, with whatever we might have on board. Not that I'm, good with
oh, he'll be
any
all right.
kind of
All right. He's
Yeah.
still surly, but he is willing to give you the benefit of the doubt. Although he still thinks that this should all be brought before a military tribunal and sorted out proper like. But
and
he won't fight you. He's not a danger to you, and eventually he might even warm up to you and cooperate with you. He would certainly, if the ship was threatened, fight on your side because sitting there and being stubborn and sinking to the bottom of the sea isn't going to get him anything. So
that is true.
he's not happy about being here, but he's not being uncooperative.
Well, I think we would probably ask him what his wishes are to be put ashore here. And before we tell him that we're headed to the New World.
Of course, he's going to say his wish is that you turn around and take him back to London.
That is not an option.
Yeah.
It's not on the table.
Yeah. Sorry.
Let's see. I'll pull up good old Lieutenant Jeffers.
And if his wish is to be put ashore here, it will be as we are leaving port.
He has decided that being put to port here is not an option, as he does not speak the native language and has no coin. So it would be bad for him. So
Question for
at
you.
this point, he will opt to stay aboard the ship until such a time as he can be
Taken to a British port.
be released into British territory. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
If that means sailing the Atlantic with you, so be it.
Okay.
He wants,
question for you.
At this point, he's
Oh,
decided that he's going to see you to trial and let you state your case before the tribunal, but he will see you to trial. Because
We can't
well,
do
Sure.
that. We can't do that until we've procured enough evidence to against
He is
against
loyal
the
to the crown,
Admiralty.
but yeah, um, he does not take kindly to you talking down about the Admiralty. Although
I
Lord
guarantee it.
Trevor is, he is well connected with the British Admiralty, and
Right.
highly thought of by the British Navy for the most part. But you guys know better. He tried to kill you with a magic artifact. Although you probably didn't tell Lieutenant Jeffers about all the magic aspect of that, did you?
No, because he'd think we were crazy.
Yeah,
I'm
because
not sure. I'm not sure that Alistair believes it yet. He's he. I mean, he does, but he's not. I'm not so sure that he's accepted it. I'll put it that way.
anyways, the lieutenant has for the time being decided to stay with you. Kind of an unexpected NPC, but it is what it is.
Mm.
And he is a wild card, so he is a dangerous customer. As you can see, that he definitely gave Alistair and Stitch a run for their money. He ultimately got beat down because, well, that's how it goes. All right, you're in.
Well, no, I didn't I. Oh, that's right. No, was it just me that got him?
No, it wasn't the easiest task. We both went in after him, and he kind of started putting a little whip ass on us there for a little bit.
No, this is okay. Is this
When
Is
we
this the
first
This
took
guy
the
isn't the
ship.
guy that you did. No, this was the guy.
Oh,
This was the guy on the boat that they ultimately knocked out.
okay.
Actually,
I
no,
was
they
under.
didn't knock him out. They got the drop on him and put a gun to his head and told him to tell the crew to stand down.
I think
That's
I
right.
clocked him with the basket on my
Yeah.
Yes,
cup.
yes, you did.
Bonked
Okay,
him.
so this is not the guy that was on the dock. This is
This is the guy on the boat. Yes, this was the guy in charge of all the guys on the dock.
This is
okay.
also a
Never
guy
mind.
that
I
we
was
all know
completely.
to be an asshole.
Yes, he is an asshole.
Yeah, got it. Okay, yeah. So I'm not doing anything special for him then.
He's an asshole, but he's not a stupid asshole. So he's not going to do
Right.
anything to endanger his life. He knows that if he pissed you guys off, you could pitch him overboard now and he'd be done. He'd be dead in that water in 30 seconds. It's that cold.
Yeah.
All right. So, and I don't know if you guys don't really have any money. So you're here in
Well,
Portugal. What are you going to do to acquire food? And it's mostly going to be
um,
food that you acquire.
well, actually, they wouldn't have money. Well, actually, the lieutenant
Actually, you
might.
guys should have had your starting money at least, minus
Yeah,
gear. So if
and
you have
this
any
is
money,
gonna
but
be in. Yeah, how do you do this where you've got the? I think I have to go in and I have to add stuff up. Is what I need to do.
Yeah, no, we were escaped convicts. Would we have
Right,
had money?
no.
but
Actually, let me
not all of you
clarify
though.
the narrative. You guys, this is how it happened. You and Stitch were on the ship that was assigned to go north. You went to a place called the Svalbard Archipelago, which is way up on the edge of the Arctic Circle.
Mm-hmm.
It was during that time that Trevor, along with a large contingent of Marines, debarked and went into the island somewhere. Now, his boat, his sloop, had been accompanying the Warspite, and you guys had been locked in the brig for mutiny, basically. Napes, who had stowed away during a port stop on the way north, rescued you guys. You guys slipped off the Warspite, stole the ship, stole the sloop,
Okay,
and headed south.
gotcha.
Soon pursued by Lord Trevor and the Warspite, which was unnaturally fast. And even though they couldn't catch you, he did something and caused the great winter storm, the great frost of 1708, 1709, that you guys just managed to barely outrun and make it back to London before the river froze. You bailed off of the ship. The Marines took the ship, knowing it to be a pirated vessel, and you guys laid low for the winter, waiting to steal your boat back.
Okay, so we would have
Dropping
been in
frames.
contact with connections and different things, and maybe had a little bit of money.
Yeah, you guys. I said I'm not gonna worry too big about it. All right, I don't know. You guys having problems with the stream? I seem to be.
It
Hopefully it's
reload.
stabilized. Yeah, I dropped
Yeah,
like 800 frames there, but and then it stopped.
it has to be Twitch, Jingo, because your voice didn't jitter a bit.
Yeah, I think it is Twitch. Usually right around this time of day, I drop frames, and I don't know why. Not much I can do about it, though. We will push on. All right. I am not going to sweat the details of money right now, but you guys, I'm going to rule that you have just enough money um, to procure 2 months worth of provisions. Plenty, because I don't know how many weeks it takes to make an Atlantic crossing. Um, this being an RPG, it will move at the speed of plot for us. It will take as long as it needs to take, and we
Right.
won't worry about exact days. But
I think it's about 6 though.
yeah, it's about 6. But you guys have 2 months worth of rations, um, and there's a whole system for breaking down how much food you carry and how much you use each day. But I don't feel like running a survival game, so I'm not going to sweat you on your food too much. Now, when later on your ship gets marooned on an island and there's nothing to eat but coconuts and bugs, well
And each other.
then we'll then we'll start worrying about food.
Right.
Right.
I think coconuts and bugs at that point will sound tasty.
Right.
All right, and what I want, and we'll start with Napes. Roll me a D12. You want a high number?
Okay. Thanks for telling me what I want. That's not a high number.
No, but it's not a bad number, so nothing bad happened to you while you were in port. How many days are you going to stay here? 1?
Only long enough to procure our stores, get them loaded, and we're getting the hell out of here.
Yep.
It
All
might.
right.
It might be like an overnight. I don't know. Depends on what time we sailed in.
I would say probably sometime in the middle of the day, because I imagine you guys at night, you put the sails down, and when you're out in the open sea, you can sail full sails at night, but when you're in the channel and there's all kinds of other crap out here, you probably don't sail as fast at night as you do during the day, or maybe you
Yeah.
can pull into the coast and anchor at night. But
I would say no. There would be shifts. You know, like I mean, we've got a crew.
yes,
So
that's something else I wanted to discuss. You guys spend a night in Portugal, and then you head out on the sea, heading west. Now, how do you want to set up your crew watches? The ship requires a minimum of 3 people operating it at all times. You guys have a total of 9 people on board your ship. You have enough to have 3 people crewing it at all times. Now, if you take 8-hour watches, that means that in any given 8 hours, there are 4 people sleeping, 4 people on duty, and 4 people awake not on duty. If you guys want to open a note and tell me who is on what watch. Are all 3 of you on the same watch? Do you want to break it up? How do you want to do this?
I think it would be better if we broke it up
Oh,
for
yeah.
us. Put
yeah.
each one of us on a separate watch. So there's a human with 3 NPCs.
Human and 2 NPCs on
Well,
each
2
watch.
NPCs. Yeah.
So,
You know what I mean.
Captain, if you want to pull up a little note and assign a watch, we can do that.
Well, I think you can do it on the party sheet.
You can. But I think I have to edit that. Let's see.
Yeah.
And I
you do.
can't add crewmen to the party sheet, only player characters.
Okay, so watch order note. I'll make it public. And how do we want, Paul? How do we want to? I said
You don't have to tell me
Should've said Paul.
specifically what they're
Stitch.
doing. just who's on duty on a particular moment.
Okay, so
Because I imagine you guys will take turns, and everybody at some point gets a turn at the wheel.
We all have boating, so that shouldn't be a problem.
Well, and I'm a little what do you call it? Protective of the crow's nest. So I tell him
So
I'd
you
be like,
don't like
nope,
to take the
don't,
wheel.
don't. To steer the boat. I mean,
So pretty much the whole time you're awake, you will be up in the crow's nest, whether you're on duty or not.
pretty much. I mean, if it wasn't so damn
Well,
cold,
Honestly,
she'd pretty
dur-
much sleep up there.
honestly, during the time when you are on ship on crew, you will be required to be doing other boating things because it takes 3
Okay.
people to operate the boat. So when you're not on duty, you're up in the crow's nest, and if you're not asleep, because no, you wouldn't want to sleep up there, because imagine the center of gravity on a boat is at the water line, and
Mm-hmm.
the crow's nest is doing this on a choppy sea.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna shake you like a pea in a can.
And she thinks that's the coolest ride ever.
Not if she's trying to sleep, she don't.
Just
know.
lulls her to sleep like a baby.
what are the other? I've got Gunny, Weathersby, Jones.
Here, let me see if it'll share
Ooh.
this with you, because I put them on an encounter sheet.
I was just going to put them at the top
I
of
was
the
gonna
crew
say-
and watch order note.
In the party sheet, there is a thing where the GM can add notes. And then there's also drop NPCs here to add party allies, if it works. Made a mess.
I'm going to add them all to the combat tracker under your character, Mark.
Okay. So it's Jones 36.
I'll
drop.
The numbers were just the random appendix
Yeah.
for NPCs. That's why when I put the sloop John A on there, it gave a number. But yeah, those are the that's their dog tag numbers. Although I don't think dog tags have been invented
So we can put in what our watch order is.
yet. Yes, for each of you, I figure each of you will be on a watch, and then just Alistair, let me know which crew members are on which watch with them.
Okay, I don't see anybody else that you've added to my group. Just Joan.
All right. I can
But
see
if you-
them all
you
on
could-
the com. Oh, that's because they're invisible. Sorry.
Okay.
Oh. Ha!
I'm not used to player characters and friendly NPCs being invisible. In D&D, you can't do that. They have to be faction or neutral or enemies. But there they are.
Okay, Gunny, Weatherby, Jones, Rupert, Smitty, Bernard. 6 of them, correct?
Yes. And
Okay,
to be properly British, it's Bernard.
Bernard. Okay. First watch out of the 3 of us. I'm an early morning riser. So taking last watch would be perfect for me, but who would like first watch out of the two
For
of
the
you?
overnight,
Yeah, for the overnight.
I can take first watch. I'm good with that. Unless you want it there, Stitch.
Now you're basing on 3 8-hour watches, a 24-hour clock.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I
it's
thought this
not,
was just
no,
the-
not just night. You guys, a ship is a 24/7, never stops operation. So this is
Right.
So each watch is going to be 8 hours. You're going to have 8 hours of sleep, 8 hours where you're actively sailing the boat, and 8 hours of your time where you can be up in the crow's nest or doing whatever you want to do.
Oh.
I just need to know
Okay.
who's actually sailing the boat at any given time.
Okay, so first watch then would be Cray, would be Alistair.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll do third watch.
Okay.
All this really means is that during any given encounter at work, at sea, somebody's going to start the encounter asleep, unless it just happens to happen at watch change.
Gotcha.
But you're not D&D characters. You're not wearing armor. Or at least I hope you're not wearing anything heavy.
Oh,
because
God.
if you fall overboard, it's deep 6 for you.
Yep. Gonna go to
All
sleep with
right.
the fishes.
So, I think we should probably let the sailors, like, they'd be like swing shift. 1 week you're gonna be on the, third watch.
So you're going to rotate it around somewhat.
Oh, I mean, yeah,
at
unless
least for
there's
the
somebody
sailors.
that prefers to be, at night or whatever, it'll be like, yeah, sure, here you go.
So what I'll
Nobody-
do is you guys put yourselves on the 3 watches, and then
There
at
we
any given time I will randomly determine which 2 are asleep and which
There
2
you
are
go.
on crew.
Okay, so then
I don't think we can
That
change
way you don't have to
the
worry.
number.
That way you don't have to. No, you can't. I have to.
Okay.
So
right.
All right,
But-
so it'll be Alistair, then me, then Stitch. Is that? Are you taking the overnight then, Stitch?
Sure.
Okay.
Second watch would be from like dinner through, I don't know. So you got sunrise to early or to late afternoon, then late afternoon into midnight, then midnight through sunrise, something like that.
Well, yeah, we need to figure. Yeah, we need to figure out.
I don't need to worry exactly. Like I
Right.
said, I'm not
Right.
into details. I just
It'll be roll the
general
dice and see
ideas.
what watch.
Yes, pretty much. It's just general bookkeeping that way. All right, you guys' first 5 days at sea. The sea is rolling, the wind is cold and fresh, but the sky is clear, and you don't see a lot of traffic out on the boat, out on the sea. Alistair, let's have an initial boating check for you to set the course.
Okay, let me pin this, or let me drag this to my hotbar down here. Crew and watch order. Okay. Boating roll. I can close dramatic tasks. I'll leave Jones open for right now. All right. Boating roll.
All right. It's not hard. You set the basic course for the west. You guys sail. 5 days uneventful. Clear skies. Seagulls. Now, about the evening of the 5th day, I'll take notice checks from everybody. Unless you happen to be asleep during second watch, which I believe
Nope.
Alistair
Nope, that's
probably
me.
would be asleep.
I would. Yep. 'Cause he's an early morning riser.
Well, if it's okay, depends. I was gonna say it depends on when.
No, yeah, I was gonna say, do you guys typically sleep right after your watch, or do you sleep
No.
right and you come off of your sleep
Well,
onto your watch?
I do. I would pretty much go to bed right after because I'm on the second shift. So that's like, what, midnight, something, I don't know, after
Alright,
that.
Anyways, I will take a notice check from y'all, and I will take a notice check from each crew member.
Are the crew members all equal, basically?
Pretty much, you can use one character sheet, just, roll for all of them.
Okay.
What I was gonna say is, every time you guys get an advance, they will each either add 1 rank to a skill or add a new skill at rank D4.
Nice.
And every time you guys go up a level, from seasoned to veteran, they'll get a major advance, like an edge or something. But they will all have to take the same thing.
Okay.
But yeah, your crew will get better as you get better.
So 6
Hacks.
notice rolls from the sailors. I'm going to use Jones because his sheet is open and shared with me.
Pax, welcome to the stream, brother.
So there's
Paxton 2000 in the stream just shared bennies for everybody.
Oh, nice.
Woohoo!
Paxton.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
sir.
Aw,
There's 3.
bennies for everybody.
So let's see.
Pax,
What's
what a
the
benny is
1,
it's
2,
kind of
3?
like
That was
inspiration in
Jones's.
D&D. It allows
Jones is pretty
rerolls
good
and
sailor,
things.
man. That was his role. Rupert, Schmitty,
Loki's girl, thank you.
Okay, you're
Oh.
not gonna roll them all as one.
and
Pax 2000,
Pardon me.
thank you for the gift sub. Loki's girl, you are now subscribed with a gift sub.
Woohoo!
and then
Thank you.
Alice. And then for Alice.
Oh, hey, there you go.
All right, those of you that made it,
Apparently,
notice,
Jones still can't see anything.
to the south on the horizon, some strange clouds. They're kind of low, kind of acting like a fog bank, but they're a little bit too thick for that. Does anybody have any kind of knowledge skill about weather? If not, I will take common knowledge checks from everybody.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I haven't.
Everybody
I
should
didn't
have.
specify skills. I just kind of went what was there.
Okay, now common knowledge is just common knowledge. This is general knowing things. If you didn't take any specific knowledge skills, you won't have any.
Okay.
Stitch, those don't look like any storm clouds you've seen before. They're just, something's wrong about it. And Napes, you've been on the sea a lot too. They're just, something about those clouds isn't behaving right.
Yep. So if I, I've always got my spyglass on me. If I go and, run up to the crow's nest to take a closer look with the spyglass, is there anything, if I'm
You can see
centered on that?
it looks like a strange patch of deep fog or a cloud down near the surface of the water. And it appears to be slowly spreading in your direction.
What
Alright.
what watch is it? There goes the stream again.
This is,
Second.
yeah, I'm still bleeding frames and I don't know why.
It's like evening.
Yeah, it's getting on to evening. You know, the sun's setting in the west. There's fog creeping in from the south. And by the time the sun touches the horizon, mist has started to rise up around your ship. And the winds start to go calm. I'll take another perception roll from everybody.
Notice?
Yeah, notice. That's right. Yeah, that.
Yeah, that.
Nope.
Whoops. Did I do that twice? No.
No.
Oh, somebody's got the same color dice as me. That's what it is.
All right. All good. In fact, you know what? It's 10:30. It's halfway through. Let's go ahead and take a 10-minute break from here before we roll into that. So, y'all stay with me. We will be back momentarily. Let me switch to that. right, are we all back?
Yep.
I know Captain had to take a phone call. He might still be on it. Let me bring up a bit of a different sound effect. All right, why is it not playing? Okay. I see my computer is choking down right now. Hold on. Let me.
Your computer is what?
It is just not responding. Trying to
Hmm.
get Sirenscape to open up and play, and it doesn't want to do that. There we
Is
go.
the Ziggy came here to mooch my toast and he ain't getting none.
Ah, Ziggy.
Yep.
Show a little bit of Ziggy to the stream. Hold up the little worm.
That's the Ziggy
There he is.
in full glorious Technicolor. Little bastard.
Little bundle of slobber, fur, and love.
He's mostly a little bundle of mooch because he is a great moocher. He's a fat little fucker because he's a great moocher.
My cat only gets the people food that he manages to get without me knowing about. Alright, it looks like you are the only one back. So we will wait. We will wait. Oh yes, that was an appropriately dramatic moment. Anyways, let me take a look at your watch notes here. So, you being on third watch, Napes, are probably asleep at the moment. Would you say you probably sleep during the day and get up in the evening, or sleep in the evening before your watch? Oh, let me ask Stitch. You are the one on second watch, so you would be awake right now. Napes
Mm-hmm.
isn't back yet. You did not notice anything.
No, I didn't.
All right, where are my players? Why are they not back? They need to be here. Hope everything is all right. They will put that in the chat. I'm going to start giving people alarm clocks.
Shock collars.
Yes, that would be great. Shock collars.
Get back to the table, you fucker.
Meanwhile, since it's just you, Mr. Stitch, let's see what you got on here. Let's look at your edges. Your edges are all stabby edges and things.
Stabby and
All
punchy.
right, I will give you this As evening sets in and the fog starts to roll up, make me a notice roll at -2. As the hair on the back of your neck stands on end. Something's not right. You don't know why, but as you watch the fog slowly roll in, a shiver rolls down your spine. Even though the fog isn't particularly colder than everything else, you sense that something is amiss.
Can I hear anything? I mean, what is there any noise except for the ocean waves?
Not even much of that. The water has gotten calm.
Hmm. Well, that's unusual. Because I'm assuming we're out in the ocean at this point.
You are out in the ocean at this point. It is a dark. Well, the sky above is clear, which is what makes the fog even more odd.
Hmm.
All right. 10 minutes is not 25 minutes.
I'd say
people.
magic, but I know there's no such thing as magic.
Hmm. See, or you think there's no such thing as magic.
Ah.
Well, no, you don't know what you saw, but you know that when you guys were headed back to England, something unnatural happened. That whole winter storm didn't just happen. Lord Trevor did something to make it happen. So you might have an inkling that, not everything in this world is as it seems.
Hmm.
Okay, now I'm starting to get worried that something has happened because they should be back by now. That was like 15
Okay,
minutes. Oh,
I'm
there you
I'm
are.
back. I'm
There
back.
you are.
I had a slight problem. I unfortunately had coffee abuse where I dropped my cup of coffee and it went all over.
Okay, okay.
I had just gotten it perfect and I tripped over air because
Yep.
I'm that
Oh,
talented.
last week I had a full one of these big tumbler of coffee sitting on my
Hmm.
desk. Right before the stream started, I elbowed it off onto the floor. The whole
Oh
thing,
no.
splooch. There's still a stain on the floor where it hit.
Oh no.
Yeah, that was a day. I had a power outage, and then I had my stream deck fail, and I had my keyboard fail.
Yep.
That was a sucky day all the way around.
No, it
It
wasn't
was.
because we had ended up having great numbers and a lot of fun on the stream. So it started
Yeah.
out crap, but we salvaged it. Hold it a little bit farther away, Pab, because we can't really make out the mug when you hold it
That's
that
too
way.
bad. I just wanted everybody to read my little saying there.
We can
Yeah,
see
it's a
that it
little bit
says
farther
good
away.
morning, but
Yeah,
it's
you're missing the bit at the bottom.
Yeah,
The
I
bit at the
can't
bottom.
tell. You're too
The bit.
close to the camera
Yeah, I moved it.
or something.
Yeah, moved it back
all
again.
right.
It says assholes anyhow. So.
Anyways,
Mm,
we will Marv had
I
to
like.
be AFK for something for a moment, so
Okay.
we're going to continue on and catch him up when he
Are
gets back.
you not getting my?
I am not getting your camera feed. Let me refresh.
Because I like paused it, but apparently I can't do that.
Yeah, you'll have to close out of it and rehit the link.
Mm, fucker. All right. Oh, it opens up a new one anyway. Okay. Share camera.
But
No audio. Start.
anyways,
Okay. Okay. Should be better now.
there you are. Okay. All right. You had gotten a 12 on your previous notice.
Mm-hmm.
Um, as the fog creeps up and the ship, the waves kind of calm down, and you're drifting through this fog, it's just something's
And the
not.
sails go slack, don't
The
they?
sails go slack. And the odd thing is
Ugh.
that typically when there's fog, the day is overcast, the night is overcast, but you can look up above and through the thin haze of fog, you can see stars in the sky above, which makes this fog that much stranger. Soldiers aren't particularly superstitious, but or the sailors, they're
Sailors,
not
are you kidding?
liking it. And
Sailors are normally superstitious as hell,
no,
Oh
they
yeah.
they didn't take the
especially with
superstitious edge
ah.
or hindrance, so they are slightly superstitious. Hell,
Mm,
this is the 18th century. Everybody's superstitious.
yeah, exactly. Especially with me being on the ship, I'm sure that just you know. Um,
Soulless ginger.
Well, they would
rude.
Woman.
think that, but you guys would all be rotting in a British prison if it wasn't for her, and so they kind of give you some slack for that.
Okay. And apparently, I'd like to say that I've initiated a couple of like races up the rigging here and there.
Yeah, nobody can
Just be
catch you.
like,
Nobody can catch you. When
so
you guys get bored and play tag, you win every time because nobody can catch you.
right.
But anyways, Alistair, um, you guys, this
Yeah,
fog
so
isn't normal. It's
no,
you
it's
know
not.
the sails have gone slack, and you can look up and through the haze of fog you can see stars in the sky above. But Napes, you hear it first. At first you're wondering if you actually heard it, but you hear what sounds like singing, and it's strangely melodious. And one of the sailors, Weatherby, says, "Did you hear that? What is that?" And after a few
And
moments,
oh,
you guys
sorry.
can all hear it. There's this strange, and it's kind of melodious and really rather pretty music coming
Entrancing.
out of the fog. It's entrancing.
Of course it
I need
is.
everybody to make a spirit check. If you have any edges that give you bonuses to spirit checks or any hindrances that give you penalties to them, let me know so I know whether or not they apply.
I do not have any bonuses or negative or
Then I'll
penalties.
take straight up spirit checks from everybody,
How
including the crew members. They can each make individual
Oh
checks.
shit.
Okay, this
I'm
is
gonna Benny that.
Okay.
May not be enough.
oh
The crew needs spirit checks as well.
Each of them individually, yes.
Each of them individually.
guys-
Oh,
yeah, and
has everybody else rolled spirit? Okay, here's 6
huh.
rolls real quick.
Oh, I don't have any languages. Well, poo.
All right, we'll take them in alphabetical order. Who are the
Okay.
first 2 people on your list alphabetically?
Would be Bernard
I was gonna
and
say,
and
yeah.
Gunny. Yeah, I'll rearrange these guys, but Bernard and Gunny.
Bernard and Gunny. You see, Gunny. Let's see, which watch was he on? Because we're on second watch. Let me look at the crew order.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what did we have for?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, no, it does. We'll go ahead and take them in order. But when the fog came up, I think everybody would have come out on deck. And but you see, Bernard will go over and he'll sit down on a pile of rope, and then he'll kind of slump over against the rail, and you can hear him snoring.
Uh,
Gunny too. He's you know, up on the forecastle, kind of leaning against the mast, saying he doesn't like this, and
uh,
you know, takes a big yawn and kind of slides down to a seating position against the mast, and his head dips down, and he's soon snoring. And the rest of you, you hear this strange music, and it just kind of puts you at peace. And man, you could really use some sack time, but you resist it. And this goes on till sometime into the night, when the fog finally breaks and the wind picks up, and you continue on. I'll take notice rolls from everybody. Alistair and Napes, you guys both notice after the wind picks up, crewman Weatherby, who is not currently on watch, um, on second shift, is standing on the bow, just kind of staring out to the south.
oh God. Bloody harpies. Okay. Um. Say,
Weatherby.
Sir, yes, sir.
Weatherby.
Sir, yes, sir.
Where's your head, lad?
Like he was like lost, like he was somewhere else for a moment. He'll come back. Sir, yes, sir.
Keep your mind on the task at hand.
Aye, sir. And he will kind of nod nervously, and then he will look over his shoulder in that direction for a second, and then realize he's doing that and snap his head back, and then say right, got third watch tonight. Better get some bunk time, and he'll go below.
I'll holler to the other sailors that are coherent. Do we still have the two that are sleeping? Jones or Bernard and
They are
Gunny?
checked out. You gonna try to wake him up?
Bernard and Gunny?
Yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna holler to Rupert and Smitty. Which one is the best shanty singer?
Probably say Smitty is your shanty singer.
Smitty,
he's our shanty man.
strike it up. Give us a shanty.
Drowned out that
pull out
a little
sound.
concertina squeeze box, and go to town thumping around the deck, and it will wake Bernard and Gunny up. They are, not asleep to the point where they can't be roused. But you all, even though the music, you know, Smitty is usually into lively jigs. He plays something
forlorn,
something more melancholy, like a dirge or a love song or something, just because he's just, you guys are all just calm, and the rest of the night goes uneventful. The next day, I will take a boating check from Alistair as you come on first watch. Okay. All appears to be in order. You stay the course. You sail the day. Evening comes. No more of the strange fog on the horizon. But I will take notice checks from everybody.
I see all the things.
Okay, Stitch, Napes, and you want it from the sailors as well?
You
Probably
can
doesn't.
if you want, but at this point, it's not necessary. Anytime you see somebody's skill come up with a raise, it's a moot point to keep rolling.
Right.
You guys, at one point, the wind, which is is pushing you westward because that's where the prevailing winds go. For a moment, the breeze shifted and the wind came out of the south for a moment, and on it, the smell of what you could only describe as a sargasso. Basically, a giant
Um,
pile of seaweed lying on
yeah.
the surface of the ocean, stinking in the sun, miring up ships that pass through it. Definitely a navigational hazard, but usually
Hmm.
not in waters this far north. But you caught a whiff of it for a second as the wind shifted. Other than that, the evening
Does
goes uneventful. You go
does that
about your
get
watches.
into waters? Does that get into waters up
Make me
on,
a
like,
common knowledge check.
northern Europe?
Make me a common
Cause
knowledge check.
okay. Whoops.
Uh,
Yeah, I know
You
nothing.
have no idea.
I say, what is that stuff?
What
Well, I
it-
just wanted to know if I had seen it before. So.
You have seen it before.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
If you're a sailor and you've
It's
ever been into the South, it's usually a South Sea and a Pacific kind of thing.
right, which she
Right.
hasn't. She
Which,
hasn't been
yeah,
below, basically the UK. So.
then you probably witnessed it. I'm sure it
Or
you
her
know
tails.
it drifts on the surface of the ocean, so you could technically run into it anywhere, but they typically form in more tropical climates.
Hmm.
And I think one of the sailors would probably point that out as smells like a sargasso. As far north, that's kind of odd. And he
All
looks
right,
at
and
the
then I would
sky.
ask him to explain what it is, and he can tell me or whatever. But the say so it is a sea plant.
Kelp.
It's basically a giant wad of
Yeah,
kelp on the
yep, I
surface
know,
that,
I
yeah.
know what it is, but character. I'll say I'm gonna grab like I don't know, like a couple, not a huge handful, but I'm gonna just, I'll grab the I want to say fork, but that's not it. The little the long stick with the metal thing on the hook. Thank you. There it is.
Gaff hook.
Yeah, and just pull a little bit in.
Hopefully, we're not that close. You don't want to be that close to that stuff.
No,
Tangles
Well,
you up.
you guys don't see it. You only smelled it.
Ah,
oh, okay,
When
so
the
it's not
wind
actually
shifted,
there.
you don't actually see anything.
Oh,
Just for a moment, the wind shifted and came out of the
yeah,
south, and
you did say that.
it was a warm wind, which
Yep,
was odd, and it carried that stench on it. And then the wind
got
shifted
it.
back to normal, and then
Okay,
the rest of that night goes uneventful. The next
yay.
morning, Alistair, make me a boating check, and everybody else make me a boating. Well, no, just Alistair needs to make a boating check.
Oh shit.
Ruh-roh.
Uh,
Benny the crap out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you realize it.
Oh, much better. You
Alistair,
tripped over your brain.
you check the numbers, and you check the numbers again, and
We off
while
course.
you are still on course heading west, you are way farther south than you should be. You guys are off course. You're not where you should be. Something's wrong.
What the bloody hell? Napes.
And
Blood
according,
knock.
somebody else like to make a boating check?
And what time is this? Like, have I just gone to bed?
No, this is morning.
Before the
this
sun
is-
comes up.
This is before
Okay,
the sun comes up. When Alistair gets up, takes one last
Take a
reading of the
morning reading.
stars with the sextant, checks it against the watch and the charts, and it's like, damn, we're about 100 miles south of where we should be.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
So
I'm
we've
gonna.
probably been off course for 2 days.
If they're
Lord.
asleep, I'll
Yeah,
wake 'em.
I'd be down in my hammock.
I'm gonna bring you
All
guys
hands
into
on
the.
deck.
Yeah. Well, not yet. I'm gonna tell them to bring her about west by northwest, and which will probably get some funny looks. Why would we be going northwest? It wouldn't make any sense to the sailors. They'd look around funny. I'll call Estrid and Stitch, Bloodknock in, and I'll basically point out, say, look, when we went to bed last night, here's where we were, and then
Well,
this
hang
morning
on. Is
we
it
are
is
here.
it just? Yeah, it was
All
just
right, you
overnight
go
that we
back
had
and check your notes, Alistair, and the reading you made yesterday was incorrect. But you would have had to get a raise on yesterday's voting check to spot it then, and you didn't.
Oh, gotcha.
So you've been off course for 2 days. You're headed in the right direction. It's just almost like somebody changed course and then corrected it. Changed course and then corrected it.
Who was on the helm last night?
Well,
Weatherby.
well. Oh.
Who's and who was on
Oh,
watch
and he
with
was.
him? Is that Stitch or Nate?
That would be me, and Weatherby is the one that
Weatherby was at the wheel.
Oh.
He was the one that was staring off to the south. And
Yep.
yes, he was the one at the wheel. Come to think of it, he was at the wheel the last 2 nights.
I think we've been bewitched.
Or at least he has. There is no witch that's going to have control over me. She says with more confidence than she feels.
And I think Alistair, looking down at the charts, would not raise his head, but just his eyes, just to look over the table at Napes and well, if you're really willing to tempt fate and say that it won't, but he wouldn't say anything. It's all said with his eyes.
Yep. And I just kind of look at him and I kind of do the shoulder shrug, and then a big grin because she's basically, in modern times, she's a kid. She can't even drive a car. But well, no, she could. But she can't legally drink. But in that time
Drinking
period,
age hasn't been invented yet.
exactly. And at that time, she would have been like married off and have probably a couple of kids on her arm by then. So, but. And I'll say, and I will repeat the word that I posted earlier. And I need to find how to pronounce these. So I'm going to, please forgive me, anybody who can actually speak this language, but it's Icelandic. And, I'll try to figure out how to do it. But, and I'll say it's the Holdufolk, excuse me. You would call them hidden people.
Now,
Perhaps.
I will tell you, if you could Google Translate, Google Translate has a nice little function on there that will actually
Yes, they do.
pronounce the damn word for you.
Yes, I
Yes,
know.
I use
and
it
I
all
just
the time.
I
Google
hadn't
is my
gotten to
friend,
it
even
yet.
though it's an evil empire.
Right? Hey man, it's one of the best phones I ever got is the Google phone, so I'll tell you that much.
I had one. I had to get rid of it though because I couldn't find a sturdy enough case for my work environment and ended up breaking 2 of them. So I went back to
Really?
Samsung because I can get a Pelican case, and Pelican is the company that makes cases for like expensive cameras and sniper rifles, and
Hard drives.
hard drives and
Right.
expensive, avionic equipment and things.
Right.
It's a case that will survive a plane crash.
Yep.
And so I
Gotcha.
bought one for my phone because I break phones at work. I've broken
Well,
3.
yeah, I can totally understand that.
So
So
we'll
I'll say
we'll
hidden
continue.
folk, or what did that one call it? Like fairies.
Okay, now this strikes too close to home.
All right, I will take one more common knowledge check. If somebody has like an
Occult?
occult skill, I'll take an occult roll.
Not that it does me any good. Of course, occult is all kind of new to Alistair. This is he's not even aware that he's got certain
Okay.
thing.
Stitch, you you've heard a number of different stories about, harpies and sirens and the various, song of the sea, song of the deep kind of things. And, no
Under the
specific
sea.
story comes out, but you have heard, fairy tales about sirens that lure, sailors to their
Sailors to
death
their deaths.
on the
Yes.
rocks, and et cetera, et cetera. And so this could be that, but sirens typically lurk near
Shipwreck.
shorelines to, yes, exactly, lurk near shorelines to lure ships onto the rocks.
And
You
then they
guys are in
feast
the
on the
middle of
sailors.
the Atlantic Ocean. There are no
Yeah, so
rocks
that's just odd.
anywhere near.
Mm.
Still, it seems like what's his name, Willisby's is kind of bewitched, so perhaps we should
He
meet
hasn't
at the
seemed
will.
to, other than that one moment, he seemed normal. He was perfectly normal on watch. Come on, talking, chatting with everybody, having
Well,
Okay,
his
how
measure of
how
rum and his biscuits and lime, and
how long how long has it been since the fog?
2 days.
Okay, so that's when everything started going
Yeah,
down, and
it
I'll say,
started. The fog
I say,
was definitely the event that started whatever is going on.
I'll say, it had to be the fog. I can see no other cause. There is definitely something. Perhaps it is a um, not a bad fairy, but perhaps just one that likes to play
Uh,
tricks.
I will take a common knowledge check from you, Napes, just to see if maybe you've
Mm-hmm.
heard something that they haven't, because you have lived among the sailors. That is not a
Hey.
raise. You've heard basically the same
Uh.
stories that Stitch knows.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say. That was a raise because it rolled a third die.
No,
It rolled the
it was an
D4 again.
it was an exploded. You need to get an 8 or higher to have a raise. That was an ace. When a die roll rolls again, that's an
Oh.
ace, not a raise.
Got it.
But
Right.
it did ace. All right. So the question is, what are you guys going to do about it? You've set a course correction.
Um, Alistair will look at Ensign Bloodknock and say, "Wake me at the end of your watch." And then at the end of his watch that night, if he comes down and wakes Alistair, then Alistair will go on deck, take a reading with the sextant if we have clear skies.
Yes, you do.
Okay, and try to see if we're straying south again, or if we're headed on a southerly. Because what he doesn't want to do is miss the prevailing winds and end up blown into South America somewhere.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't want to do that. So you're going to take another reading to make sure you're not being blown off course. Make me a
In
boat
the middle,
check.
yeah.
And so you're getting up to take this reading at the beginning of the third watch.
Yes,
You are
but
not
so
off
probably
course.
okay. All right, very good.
And
Then
then the third watch comes on, and Weatherby comes up onto the aft deck to take his place at the wheel where he normally does.
I think
Salutes you.
Cray stays up the rest of the night, and he'll just kind of swing shift. He'll have to get through a day with a little bit of fatigue, probably.
So he's gonna stay up on the aft castle and keep an eye on Weatherby.
Right. So, and I'm not going to say anything to him because probably not his fault from what Napes has said. But yeah,
Um, Make me a notice check as you're just standing there. Because he's sitting there, he's like humming a little ditty to himself, and munching on a biscuit or a boiled tater or something. And you notice the song that he's humming to himself is that same fucking song you heard in the fog.
Mm-hmm.
And without even noticing it, you can notice that his hand imperceptibly is kind of
moving
drifting
to
the
left.
wheel without even him noticing it, just subtly steering you south. And if
I'm
this
gonna
went
knew
on
it.
for a while, it would put you off course. And make me I don't know how this would work because there's really not a skill to cover it. Make me another notice check. You don't know if he's aware of what he's doing or not, but you're watching him do it.
uh, I'll relieve him and just basically say, Weatherby, it's no night for sleeping. Not for me anyway. I'll take the wheel.
Is this during second or third watch?
It's during your watch, so you're probably up in the crow's
Okay.
nest, and you look down, you see Alistair come on deck, and he sits back on the stern castle for a long time, and then eventually you look down and you kind of hear some movement, and you see Weatherby heading down below, and then
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay.
and then Cray
Yep.
is at the wheel.
Actually,
So
this is what happens when you go up to Weatherby. You startle him, and he stops humming. You say, "Oh, Captain, didn't realize you were there, sir."
And that would get my attention.
Right. And he will shake his head, nod to you, and you know, take leave and go to his bunk. And Captain says I get extra hours of sleep. I'm taking that shit up. But yeah, you definitely snapped him out of something when you spoke to him. Like he had definitely zoned out into something. And
Okay.
he was humming that fucking song.
yeah, I'll just look up and I'll try to get Nape's attention up in the
Yeah.
crow's
Well, I
nest.
would have gotten. Yep. I'm gonna, come and slide down the ropes and I say, Captain, was he doing it again?
He's bewitched. There's no doubt now.
I
Give him
don't know
some
about.
extra rum. Gin.
Do we have anything besides rum except for what might be in the captain's cabin?
You guys just came from England. You don't have rum. You have
Yeah,
gin.
the gin.
Rum comes
Yeah.
from the Caribbean where they grow sugar. Gin comes
That's
from
true.
juniper berries which grow in the British Isles.
Yep.
Yeah. She's not that much. She's had rum before, and she thinks that's pretty tasty. The
Me
gin,
too.
not so much. Not so much.
No, juniper berries. I mean, I put one in my mouth as a kid and was like, oh my god.
And I'm like, okay, well, with the juniper berries, I mean, we've got this wonderful stuff that we found when we went to like Norway or to Sweden. God. Sorry, I get it from IKEA. What the hell is it? The lingonberries. I say,
Oh,
I know
lingonberry.
lingonberries.
oh, that's like the best stuff in the entire universe. It's like cranberry and grape together, except it doesn't have the sharpness of the cranberry.
Really?
It's just like the juice flavor. Anyway, so
You
I'll
guys
say,
have determined that something's wrong with Weatherby. So definitely
So
something
how do
got in
we-
his head.
so I'm gonna actually, I'll say, perhaps I can figure something out, and I will sit on the floor, kind of, a little bit
Cripples.
back and off to the side from the
Crystal, how's it going?
the captain and the wheel, and provided that the deck there is relatively flat, I will take a little pouch out of somewhere. I've got pocket, I don't know, in somewhere, and I will lay out a little square like piece of fabric with an embroidered circle around it. Nothing fancy, it's just a thing. And then also in the pouch there's a bunch of like kind of like knuckle bones almost, but and I'll shake them
You
and
doing
I'll
this in front of Alistair?
yeah, because she's from Iceland. Just so I'll say Now, I personally don't have anything. This is just the runes thing, Jingo. So,
Oh, I know.
yeah.
Do me a favor.
So I want to
Make me
see
a
if I
spirit
can.
check.
All right.
You're very spiritual.
Oh yeah.
You trying to do some sort of basic augury?
Not augury, just more of a what does the fates say? Like, what is it? You know, like in 13th Warrior, where
I have
the
not seen
old
that.
witch. I love that movie so much. You know, where she's reading, she's reading the bones, kind of a thing. Same sort of thing. It's just it's a Norse practice that still was happening in
All
Iceland
right.
at the
I
time.
will say that your reading indicates that there is a loss in the future. That's the best it
Hmm.
will.
Okay. All right. I'll say, well, it doesn't.
It doesn't
The
bode well.
Yep, the fates do not say, or actually, no, she'll say, the gods do not say what exactly the circumstances are, but
They
there will
remain
be.
fickle.
Yes, well, they usually are, but
Now, is it good?
and I'll say, but it says that there will be some sort of loss in the future. I can't get anything more out of that, and then I'll, pick it all up and put it away.
Alistair fishes out something that's hanging around his neck. He fishes it out of his shirt, and like any good Protestant sailor, he still hangs on to the, his St. Elmo's. Uh,
St.
Of
Elmo's,
sailors.
huh?
yeah,
Patron saint
St.
of sailors.
Yeah, so he
Ah,
pulls it out and gives it a kiss, even though he's Protestant. Any good Protestant sailor in England would still have St. Elmo's, whatever the hell you call
like a
them.
crucifix.
Medal.
Yeah,
It's like a
yeah,
Saint Christopher medal.
exactly.
Oh, okay, okay. So yeah, she says, you were that is right, you were English, not the same as you have different gods, and it's
Anyways,
always plural with her.
you are able
Oh.
to correct the course before you get put any more off, and about halfway through your um, shift, Captain, um, one of the other sailors comes up and says, "I think Weatherby's sick. He's not. It's not right. Y'all said have somebody come tend to it."
Um, okay, can one of our guys, because I don't have anything in medicine. I don't know if anybody else
I don't
has
think
any.
you guys have a doctor.
Well, could one of the guys not be quote unquote a doctor, but have some sort of basic, a dye maybe in
One of them
medical,
might have a. In fact, we will do
and
that.
have it not be
After
Weatherby?
this session, no, it won't be Weatherby.
That's good. Okay.
Rupert, he's
Yeah,
the cook and the.
yeah. What
He
I was
can
Oh,
make
is
gonna
the
he?
do
gin
Okay.
is
tonic.
after this session, I'm gonna let you guys pick one additional skill for each of them to make them
Okay.
individuals. So
Hmm.
each of
Yeah.
them will have a skill that the others don't have, and one of them will have a D4 in medicine. So
Cool.
he will come up and say he will go have a look at Weatherby and say, I think he's having the fits. His skin is cold and damp, and he's thrashing about like he's having a nightmare, and I can't wake him.
Oh. And I'll just kind of do the meaningful glance to Alistair. Be like, I say,
All of a sudden, you guys hear a commotion and some thumping, and you hear Weatherby say, "Get out of the way and let me by." And Jones says, "Weatherby, you're not right. Go back to your bunk. You're sick, lad." And then you hear the crack of knuckles against the jawbone and a thump, and Weatherby comes out onto the deck holding his hand, looking around, and he's kind of crazy. And he's like, the song. Do you hear it? It calls the song. And he starts stumbling towards the rail. What are you guys going to do?
Can
I'm
I? Oh, sorry. I
I
was
think
gonna
we-
say, can I, if I could dash in front of him and like trip him, but because she's little, so.
All right, so if you're going to stop him, you can do that. You get in front of him, and as he staggers towards the rail, you know, drop him to the deck, and he'll get up on his hands and knees and shake his head, and he's like, but the song. I'll take notice
Can I
checks
say-
from everybody.
Oh yeah. Am I getting my pluses on this or no?
No,
Okay, just my normal one.
just a
Okay.
normal one.
Okay.
Napes
Hmm.
and Alistair. At that moment, the wind shifts and comes warm and wet out of the south with the smell of the Sargasso. For a moment, and then the wind goes calm and the sails go slack,
The doldrums.
and just you can smell the stench.
Oh.
Okay.
And Weatherby,
I'm gonna.
gets up to his hands and knees and shakes his head, and basically he's starts scrambling towards the rail.
Okay.
The
I'm gonna get my.
song. My people,
wanna
they
try to
call
imi-
to me.
Those are not your people. Those are the demons, the water fairies. Don't listen to them.
All right, if you guys aren't gonna stop him, he's headed to the
Oh
rail.
yeah. No. I want to get in front of him, and kind of make him like look at me, like putting like a hand on either side of his face.
All right.
Weatherby, look at
About
me.
that
There is
time-
no song.
About Weatherby will look up, and he's got this crazy look on his face. And right at that moment, Alistair, your blood runs cold as you see a scaly hand come up over the rail, grab the edge, and something pulls itself up to look at you. Let me show you an image of this.
Good lord.
God. It's like, oh hell no.
Well, there's no reason to be at the wheel if we've lost our wind.
Oh no.
Well, and I mean, we can always keep it on course by, I'm sure we got one of them rope thingies that you hook onto one of the spokes or the, handle thingies.
Right.
Second, I have to import this image because I forgot to do it.
Whoopsie.
So, Alistair hollers out. To arms, the witch comes, the witch comes.
Oh boy.
And once again, he fishes out his St. Elmo's, gives it a kiss as he draws his cutlass.
I will say something in Icelandic and you'll hear words that sound like names, and you'll hear oh god, let's see. You'll hear Odin, Thor.
Loki. Fucking Loki, if anything.
Well, yes, but
All right. Having to find this image. 'Cause I don't know where I put it.
I had a cat
Uh-oh.
named Loki.
is it a slee stack? I got pictures of those.
I threw some slee stacks on my players one night.
Oh my god. I introduced a friend of mine to the original Land of the Lost.
Oh,
We
yeah.
actually watched an entire episode together. It was hilarious.
Yeah. Marshall,
whatever
Will,
reason.
and Holly.
Holly. Yep.
I cannot get this image to appear to me.
Weird.
There we go. There we go. Let me see if it has an image with it. Of course not. All right. Bear with
Why
me
would it
for a
have
moment.
that?
I don't know. Yes, I want to import it all as image records. There we go. Isn't she lovely?
Oh God, do I want to know? Ah!
She gave me an ichthyonite sandwich.
It's ugly.
Yes, it is ugly. It is horrible.
It's like,
And
oh, ugly.
yep, this is let me one moment now that I have that. Sometimes
Wow. Apparently, I can't spell today.
we'll share this, the map of your ship.
Yes.
I'm gonna, as I put you on the ship, go ahead and put yourselves where you would be. Right now, Jones is downstairs. He got knocked out by Weatherby.
Okay.
Weatherby
Do I need to
is
put
here
myself
crawling
on
for
there?
I'll get you.
Okay.
Weatherby is there on the rail. You are between him and Weatherby.
And the rail.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, and Alistair's coming down the stern. Where's this thing coming over the rail at? The gunnels.
Right behind Napes. Hold on, I'm going to add them to the.
Okay.
Add this encounter. Oh, also, let me add Lieutenant Jeffers to the crew because he is here.
Has he been serving on? Has he been serving on watch at all?
You've not asked him to do that, but
Okay. All right. Not that we would leave him alone. It's more of a, hey.
But yeah, he is present. So.
Okay.
Do I know Lieutenant Jeffers, to be a good swordsman? Can he defend himself, or is he just a dandy in a uniform?
Lieutenant Jeffers is a damn
Quite
good
competent.
shot and a damn good fighter. He's got an 8 in fighting and shooting.
Nice.
He also has knowledge battle, so he can lead troops. He's not a slouch. All right. Let's see. Right now, nobody's on the deck. I would say 2 people, 2 of your crew. Let's say for now, Rupert and Bernard are still in their bunks. And right there is where the hand appeared. And let's see, there's got to be a reshuffle deck. Or not. We'll just wait for a joker to show up then. That'll take care of it for us. Alright. Here come the Zulis. It's hard to believe that the highest card dealt this round was a 5.
Oh, wow. Holy buckets.
Switch over to
Come here.
Yeah, if you got Pirates of the Caribbean, that's always a good one.
I have Pirates of the Sirenscape.
Ah,
Stitch, you're standing there, and Alistair calls out, "Look!" And you turn around and you see Fishman coming up out of the water. What would you like
possible
to do?
that that's a fish woman.
It could be.
She's
It
got
could be.
boobs.
Fish thing.
B-E-W-E-S.
Could be. Maybe it's moobs.
It could be moobs.
Maybe it's
I mean-
dad bod Fishman. Who knows?
Manneries.
Very possible.
Manneries. I like that.
Manneries. That's awful.
That's
Can-
awesome.
You
Can
know
I-
what? Hold on. Manneries will get you a Benny.
Nice.
Awesome.
I used to play golf, and I've always sweated like,
Oh.
around the chest, and they'd be like, "Craig, your tits are always fun." I said, "I'm lactating from my manneries."
Oh my god.
That's disturbing.
Out here we have a phenomenon known as swamp ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not just there. Trust me.
Oh, trust me, but swamp
it's
ass
here.
season is very long here. Swamp ass season starts in April and goes to October.
Yeah, but see, y'all don't have like humidity.
They
And
live
that
in
just
swamp.
makes it worse.
That's the difference.
See, in June and July we do have humidity, 60 or 70%, and at
Oh, is that all?
110 degrees, is that
Yeah,
all?
that's- yeah.
Is quite a bit.
Yeah.
Anyways, Stitch,
Monsoon.
there's something to
Monsoon
stab
season.
over there.
I'm gonna go there and see if I can chop its fingers off with my cutlass.
At this point, I've got to say, here, I need to do this. I need to delete Weatherby from Alistair's group and add him as an independent NPC at this point because he is not acting as a member of the group. Sorry this had to happen to Weatherby, but it had to happen to Weatherby.
Oh, great. So that's coming up behind me. You know, I want to say I'd like to kind of negate my role because of the fact that I'm very focused on Weatherby. So I don't see this thing coming up behind me.
I think people will have called out, but it's
Yeah. But
Yeah, can I? As I said, can I move over there and attempt to chop its hand with my cutlass?
you can hit him. This works just like the D&D. You can drag the attack right onto him.
Okay.
Should be able to. Like you said, we don't know if things have been broken on the Azores.
oh,
Not
And
good.
missed. You can Benny it if you like, or you can
Yeah, sure, I'll Benny it. Let me get to the page with bennies. Wrong.
I think. Can
There.
you?
Yeah, just use
Is
the
there?
Benny.
I'm just thinking because the other game that I'm doing, Savage in, is on Foundry, and I think we can just like right click and have it like a re-roll using a Benny kind of a thing.
Yeah, no,
But I don't think they have that here.
they don't.
You can actually go up, and of course our Benny box shows no bennies, but you can go ahead and they're there. You can click it and drag
Oh,
it
yeah.
back onto the skill that you just rolled, and it will say using a Benny to re-roll that skill.
Very
Oh,
nice.
cool
See, I
beans.
learn new things about all the time.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
There you go.
you crack it, and you rattle it. Let's see.
It's shaken.
Not stirred.
Mm-hmm. His name is Bond. Brooke Bond.
There, and I will apply shaken. You crack him on his fishy dome, and his fishy eyes would go crossed if they didn't point in every direction at once. He does not recover from being shaken, and
Ooh.
I do not feel like wasting a Benny on him. You hear claws scrabbling up the side of the deck, and one of them pulls himself up over the side and leers over Gunny.
Right. So where is Weatherby? Isn't he right in front of me?
Oh, sorry. I
think you were
I
moving
removed
him.
to re-enter
Yep.
him. There he is, and yeah,
Okay.
he is definitely going to show as an enemy. Anyways. Bites, Gunny. And shakens him. You see this thing come up and he just like, chomps down on Gunny's shoulder trying to chew into his, his sea coat or whatever it is. And Gunny's like freaked out. Get off of me! Get off of me! Alright. And I will apply that. The next one. Crawls over
Rude.
the side here. Let's see, do they speak any language? Alright, this one comes up and he points to Weatherby and he says something, but you don't understand it.
No, okay.
Another one pulls
No language that anybody can understand.
Look,
You're not
more
even
of them.
sure if it was language.
Language, or he just had to, a frog in his throat.
This one comes at Smitty and misses. This one comes over the rails. Bites Lieutenant Jeffers on the leg. Or starts chewing on his boots, and Lieutenant Jeffers looks down kind of disgusted.
Come on, boots are the tastiest part.
Names. There's a thing behind you, but Bloodknock just rang his bell, and you saw him go up there, so you turn around, and you definitely see Fishman. You see Weatherby, and he's like, well, you moved around in front of him, so he's just, right now, he's just on his hands and knees looking up at you.
Okay. I'm going to kind of use what little leverage that I might have, like I don't know if I can get a foot on the wall of the
Remember,
the wall of the
there's
ship there.
rigging everywhere.
Well, yeah, but
It's not shown
should
on the
be.
map, but there are ropes everywhere on this ship. So
Well, yeah,
there's all kinds
she
of cool
would-
shit you can do in the ropes.
Oh yeah, right. But I'm not. I'm gonna just use my leverage to push off of the side of the ship, and basically plop Weatherby down on his back. So basically, I'm gonna push off from the wall
You're
of the ship.
basically going to try to knock him over. Make me a fighting check against him.
Okay.
Just don't worry about damage.
Yep.
He's really kind of rattled and weak now, so All right, you go to try to push him, and
Yeah.
no,
I'm
you are not successful.
Yep. I'm a little bitty thing. Now that's an action, right?
That is your action. That's right.
Oh, okay. All right. Then at that point, my movement would be to get around behind him to basically on my next turn I'm going to try to pull him back cuz
All right.
I don't have enough
Tokens
leverage.
aren't locked, so you can definitely
Yep.
move around him.
Okay. So, I'll go around basically just very very quickly spin around and try to get him under the arms.
So you
And
can
then-
grab him next turn.
Yep.
Fair enough, Alistair. Shit, just we're
What's
not in
up?
Kansas anymore, brother.
No,
It just
No.
got real.
it did, and Alistair's seeing things he's never seen before. So, first of all, being an officer, Jeffers would not. I mean, yes, he's a prisoner, but
Oh,
English honor and all that. We wouldn't have even locked away his arms and
No,
stuff because
I imagine
yeah.
he is carrying his blade. He is giving
Right,
you his
okay.
word that he will not oppose or cause conflict with any of you. He
All right.
wants to do the right thing, and fighting and being an enemy out here won't serve any purpose to him. So
Gotcha.
he's not friendly, but he's not an enemy.
So I'll step forward and I'll holler, "Mr. Jeffers, you bastard! I know you can fight. Let's put him down." And I'll come up behind this Ichthonite right here. This whatever it is. He doesn't know what the hell they're called.
Fishman.
It's a fish man, yes. And I would not have had my pistol primed because I didn't have time to prepare for,
I
you
forget
know.
which story it is. The Dunwich Horror. The one where the guy in the Lovecraft story goes to this town and finds out it's inhabited by fishmen, and then finds out that he's a fishman. Lovecraft stories always end horribly. It's just part of what I like about him is that there's no happy.
Well, yeah, because Cthulhu.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah, I've got him targeted. Why did that not?
I don't know. That is. Can you drag that onto him?
I should be able to. Let's see. I don't think it'll
that
hit him.
missed. No, that missed.
Yeah, that's gonna miss him. I don't know that I'm ready to be starting to waste bennies yet or spin bennies at this point. And no pistol because out here in the humidity and whatnot on the sea, you wouldn't prime your gun until you knew you were getting ready to go into combat.
That gun, you don't keep loaded pistols around because it
Right.
likely won't work when you go to use it.
That's exactly right.
Ah,
All right. So
I will holler, but I will holler as a free action, and I'll holler at the sailors like, Smitty, Bernard, secure, help
Jones,
Nate secure
you
Weatherby.
can give Jones a vigor check. If you can get a success with a raise, he will wake up because he got bonked on the head.
Oh, that's
hit by
right, that's
Weatherby.
right.
Jones
see.
Jones is incapacitated right now, but he's not harmed.
Vigor
All right.
check.
I'm going to switch him from incapacitated to shaken. He's awake now, but he can't act this round.
Okay, is he prone?
He's prone. I'm not going to worry about it. He's below
That's fine.
decks, and there's no fight going on. down
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
there. Gunny got his wits about him. Realizes this thing is trying to chew on his shoulder. What's Gunny going to do?
Gunny was given
Why is
instructions
this
to
deep-
help.
Oh, that's right. They don't have any fighting yet.
Yeah, that's right.
They're just sailors. They're not fighters. They will earn fighting after this. They will earn it before fighting. The ones that live through this.
Well, shit, I can't pull Gunny from. Yeah, he would get. He'd get an attack of opportunity. So, Gunny's going to. He's got a knife. He's going to do what he can. which is not much.
Alright, so he stabs at the thing. Rupert was in his bunk. He is awake this round and can move if he wants to come up on the deck. Or actually, we'll say he awakes this round and grabs his knife, and he can make it up on deck if you want him to.
Yeah, I mean, yes, he would it'd be all hands on deck, so. He is making his way up to the top deck.
Okay. That would be the hatch would bring him out right next to this guy. So he comes up and there's a fish man, you know, trying to chew on Smitty. Is he gonna stab him with a knife? He should get a gang up bonus.
Yes, where's he? He's right here. Smitty's right. Yeah.
Do I need to share it? You can just use one sailor sheet
Cool.
for all of them. It doesn't. The name doesn't matter. They're all the same.
Okay, make sure I got the right. Doesn't matter. I'm gonna have to drag and drop. So I'm gonna use Gunny here for Rupert, and he'll drag a knife to the Ichthonite.
All right, hold
And
on,
this-
because you have a gang up bonus that it's not going to take into account. So
What about
actually,
5?
oh, your total was 3 because of the. Okay.
Gang up plus 1 equals 4. That's a miss.
Yeah. All right. Smitty also gets a gang up bonus. Now you see Smitty's showing a knife D4. I don't know why the other one was showing a knife D4 minus 2.
I mean, are they all? Did you make them all the same, or?
They should be, yeah. They were all copied from the same sheet. Okay, I don't know why they did the minus 2 because it's showing he's got fighting. So I don't know. I'm not gonna worry about it. But anyways, Smitty can take his shot as well.
All right, Smitty. Misses.
Now the sailors weren't meant to be very effective at first. They're
No.
gonna have to grow into it.
Mm.
And Bernard
Or be
can
replaced
also,
as they die.
yes, they can be replaced at a port. Bernard cannot get up the hatch this round because Rupert is at the top of the hatch, and so he will be able to come out next round.
Okay.
Lieutenant Jeffers, will take his rapier, whip it out with a ringing sound, and run it through fish belly.
Nice.
And
Oh.
obviously not run it through a vital part because the thing, hisses at him. And Jeffers is like, ugh. They're as tough as they smell.
Yeah, they're pretty tough.
Weatherby, Alethea, Napes can have an opportunity attack with a fighting roll to grab Weatherby because he's headed for the rail.
Okay. So just fighting.
Just fighting.
Okay.
He's prone, so
Yeah. Yes.
Nice.
he goes running. He goes to lurch for the rail, and you grab his foot and stop him. Otherwise, he would have gone over the edge this round.
Okay. Right into the arms of the sea beastie.
New round.
Oh, good. All right.
Weatherby.
All right, Weatherby. Nutty bastard.
Kicks you.
Oh.
Oh. Hang on. I have dodge. Hang on.
That should already be factored into your. I believe dodge is versus ranged attacks.
Oh, attackers
Wait a
must
minute.
subtract 1 from their shooting or throwing rolls.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, he kicked
Nope,
you.
there's another edge that does melee.
Yep.
So.
Your toughness is 5. He did 5 damage, so
Ow!
he shakens you as he kicked you right in the chest.
Oh, that didn't feel good. Oh!
Actually, hold on.
She ain't got much, but what
he may not
doesn't feel
have.
too good right now.
I need to look at what the penalty for prone is. He was prone, so.
That's right. Yeah, he
from-
would be at a negative.
Yeah, -2. He would have missed you, so you are not shaken.
Okay, cool.
But you still have hold of his foot.
Oh, good.
Ichthyonite number 61 is no longer shaken. Will come fully up onto the deck. Try that again. That's weird. Let me re-put your token in the hall because it's not working right.
Hey,
There we go. Now I can see. Alright, there we go. Alright, oh, that's right. I'm going to say he doesn't have the gang up because Weatherby is prone. So he missed you.
okay.
The night 32. We'll miss on Gunny. The night 19. Move up. We'll bite Smitty. Or bite at Smitty and manage to mostly just bite his hat off of his head. Tonight 78. We'll also turn on Smitty and miss. Tonight 36 is no longer shaken. Anybody at the rail can also see there are more of these things swimming around in the water.
Oh.
Ensign Stitch.
I guess we keep fighting.
Never give up. Never surrender.
Never surrender. Screw these guys. Hold on. Oh yeah,
That is it.
There it is.
Loki's girl, who did you redeem the Benny for?
Well, I was gonna do 2, but apparently you can only do 1 every so often.
Yeah, I have them limited so that people don't spam them. You can give them.
Well,
I'm
well, I
only
wanted to
gonna
give
roll,
1.
You cannot give it to yourself.
Well, no, I have enough. I haven't even used one yet, but I'd like to give one each to Alistair and Stitch. So,
One of them will get one. Which one gets it?
Go for Stitch.
All right.
Woohoo! Thank you.
This girl has bought you a Benny.
You're welcome.
Chat.
You're welcome.
Also, I have added some other chat commands on there if y'all get bored and want to play in my chat. I don't think I have the 8-ball yet, but you can challenge each other to duels, and you can play.
Oh, cool.
You can bet your tots of rum to win more.
Nice.
And challenge other people in a duel for your tots of rum. All right.
Very cool.
Stitch has again crunked this thing on the head. Lieutenant Jeffers was shaken. Let me out.
Oh, I'm still looking like I'm shaking
He is not shaken. Oh.
when I get there. Okay.
He recovers from being shaken. And runs at this thing again. And I don't have them on him, but I'm going to use the one from the pirate camp. Lieutenant Jeffers is a wild card and gets 2 of his own bennies.
Very cool.
Drew Blood!
Yeah.
And, well, that Ichthonite dies a bloody stain, drops to the deck and slides off.
Sweet.
Jeffers looks disgusted. Turns to find something else to stab. All right, Astrid, right now you have a hold of his foot.
Okay.
On
I
his
wanna-
turn, he's probably going to try to get loose.
Right. Chances are I'm gonna need both hands to keep a hold of him. So,
If you, on this
I
round,
know.
right
Oh.
now you have him restrained or whatever, grappled I think it is.
Yeah.
If you can beat him on an athletics check this round, you can have him bound. Which means
Oh,
you
sweet.
can have him completely held down.
Yeah. I'd
But
like
you
to
have
do that.
beat him on an athletics check.
Okay. I can do that.
Holy shit,
Ah.
Weathersby.
I'd
You
like
are
to.
unable to
I'd like
keep
to
hold
use
of
a
him.
penny
Okay.
for that. Let's see. So you put it over the.
You can probably
Thing.
drag it right onto that. Yeah.
Ah, really?
Oh no. And
So I'd like to. Let's just keep the first one then,
no,
please.
you can't do that.
What?
No. If you Benny, is a Benny an either or? But I don't know about a critical failure. A critical failure is a critical failure. It's a critical failure. His
I pull his boot right off.
his boot comes off,
and
and
I
not
fall
only does his
backward.
boot come off, but you fall on your butt prone, and he is no longer restrained.
Yep. That works.
Alistair.
All right, I'm gonna clear targets because for some reason I've got. Huh? It's weird. It didn't work. Clear targets button does not work. Oh. Okay. Alistair will step around her to here.
I probably fell back into your legs or something. Ain't gonna hurt you none, but.
Nah. Nah, it didn't hurt. Didn't hurt. He doesn't want to attack Weathersby. He's got, you know what? He can't. His best option right now is to deal with these guys, so he'll step forward to here. So quicker we can get him off the deck. Weathersby's got to get to his feet. And I'm hollering for the sailors to secure him. So I'm going to attack this one. Combat. Did that target him? It did, and that sucks. I'm going to Benny that.
Hey, there you go.
That's better.
Nice.
See, they have, that's a hit with a raise against one of them.
I don't think it targeted him though. So let me hit the raise.
You can grab that roll and drag it onto him, and it should.
Hit with the raise. There we go. So that recorded the raise.
Button.
Nice.
I don't think, and I still got him targeted, but it's not. I don't think that hurt him though. Oh, it shook him. Shook him up. That helps. And I only took one action, so that's it. Jones is not shaking him.
Jones.
He's downstairs or down below deck.
Yes, he can push past. Right now, you are standing on the hatch, so he cannot
Oh
come
shit.
up.
Well, couldn't he come up from
No, that's
Here?
the only way up from the below decks is that hatch.
No, there's stairway right here.
No, that stairway goes up onto the aft castle.
Yep.
The only
Oh.
way out of the lower deck is that hatch. The boat is too small. You guys, this is a tiny little boat.
Yeah.
You guys are nuts to cross
Yep.
the Atlantic Ocean in it.
It's still well, we are,
We're
but it's still
not trying to
relative
cross
speaking.
The Atlantic. We're just trying to, go south. We're not crossing the Atlantic. We want to stay kind of, sort of closer to the coast than we probably
well,
are.
It's a seaworthy vessel. I will say
Mhm.
that. It isn't intended for what you're doing it on. It's just, if you guys get into a squall or a really bad storm, it will crush this boat. Anyways, Jones cannot get out this round.
No, he
You
cannot.
can hear him thumping on the hatch.
I'll pass it on to Gunny. Gunny's here. Gunny does the only thing he can, and that's a knife to the face with this. Come on, one of these guys has to hit. Shit. Rupert will scurry. No, that's not Rupert down there. That's Rupert here. And Rupert attacks this guy. Not a one of them's gonna hit.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Smitty. Oh, that's okay.
I passed you.
So
Go ahead and
let's
take
do Smitty.
Smitty's turn. Bernard also cannot get up on deck this round.
So Smitty, seeing some help. Shit. Are they getting the gang up bonus?
I'm not seeing it apply. I don't know why. What's
I
going on
don't.
with that?
Well, that would have been a 5.
A
I
5.
don't-
They have a parry of 6, I believe.
Okay. That misses.
Yeah, their parry
And-
is 6.
Then Bernard and Jones gooses him and says, "Get your ass out of the way." But Bernard can't get up the stairs because Alistair's standing on the hatch.
Oh God.
Uh-oh.
Weatherby got a joke.
Oh shit.
He is going for the rail. Astrid, you're prone. You're not gonna be able to do anything. I don't think anybody's gonna be able to stop him. Weatherby goes over the rail.
Okay.
And immediately after he does, all the other fishmen jump over
Ditch.
the rail and follow him.
Yep.
Lunch is
Only
served.
They own
They
no,
only came for
not
lunch.
lunch. I'll tell you
Mm-mm.
guys a bit of meta. Weatherby
Yep.
had some strange ancestors, and when he heard the call, he was
Ah.
called home, and nothing was going to stop him from returning home. At the moment he heard the song, Weatherby was lost to you guys, and these things would continue to fight
Wow.
until their brother was returned to the fold. And now that he has, they are not interested in you, and they leave.
Fair
and
enough.
the voyage will continue, sans Weatherby next week. However, we are right up against the end of the hour. I know, Alistair, you've got some family matters you need to get off to. The rest of you, um, thank you for coming. Let me do a few shout outs here. Um, first off, let's get to my channel. If you enjoyed what we did here tonight, um, it's making me accept my own chat rules. How sad is that?
It's desserts.
In addition to this stream, you can find me other times during the week. On Thursday nights and on Saturday nights, you can find me over at Martian Cat Stream. So let me shout her out. Um, and on Friday nights, you can find me over at Drake Takes Stream, where I play Smedley the Scholar Ranger. And on Sunday evenings, you can find me over at Spencer77 Stream, where I play Dr. Cullen Dade, biohacker extraordinaire, in his Starfinder game. Also, Marb, is your username just Marbanya, or is it DM
Yep.
Marbanya?
Just Marbanya.
Our captain, Marbanya, runs his very own Savage Worlds game on Thursday nights. He runs Deadlands Reloaded, The Flood, and has a crazy cast of characters over there that are a lot of fun. So check these people out. All highly Jingo recommended. And you know what? I think I see somebody we can raid. So let me set that up.
Raid.
We're going to go raid Engorgio.
Cockroaches.
Thank you for catching that.
But anyways, y'all, thank you for your bits, for your subs, for coming to hang out with us. I hope you enjoyed and will join us again. Players, say goodnight, Twitch, and we are going to sail off into that sunset.
Well, it's good morning here, but
Well,
Well, you
good
know.
day.
Good day to everybody. Thank you very much,
All right.
Jingo.
You guys see you soon.
Yes, thank you for running.